All right, I think I'm set. All right, good morning. Good morning. See, we have a couple people in. That's okay. Johnny is on his way, and the others hopefully will be right behind him. Hi, everyone. I'm JL, and welcome to the Four Beardsmen of the Apocalypse. Currently, one Beardsman, but the rest should be along shortly. There he is. Let's get him in.
Hi.
There he is.
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah, Fred Knotts is like 4. Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, Tony hasn't been feeling very well. And I don't know what's going on. Well, I do know what's going on with the Irish team, and he's getting used to being in Ireland.
Ireland.
Hey.
What was it? Is that Popeye?
No. It's yeah, that's Popeye. If you ever watch John Leguizamo's, I think it's Sexaholics, he talks about running into the trying to be like faking being Irish because he's trying to fit in because he moved around so much. They ended up in an Irish neighborhood and he was at the bar. Just dumb shit.
That's funny. So, hey, let's see who's in the chat. We got Surf is in the house. Good to see you, Surf. And Fred Knotts, who says 4. Yeah, right. And Surf says 4 asterisks, Beardsman. So, yes, there's an asterisk by our name. And Fred Knotts says, by the way, those cows are owned by a mad farmer. Either they broke a fence or someone left a gate open. Actually, J. Rylander's in the house. Says in the house. And Charlie Welch, good to see you. Good morning. So yeah, right before I went to go get my wake up juice, and when I was on my way back up that long ass road that leads up to where I live, I put up a short. I had to record it because you don't see that very often. There were cows blocking the road, and
you do live in Bartlesville.
It's one of those things that you come across on occasion when you're driving, and it was like, wow, there are cows in the road, and apparently, and when I was waiting for them to get, and they ran back up into the field where they were supposed to be, but yeah, the section of the gate that I guess was like they either knocked it down or something was going on, but it was like a part of the gate that was kind of hidden by the tree line. So they kind of either they knocked it down and they pushed their way in, but they all ran back up in there. So they didn't go all scattering all over the place. But yeah, cows. So it was like, this is one of the things that you see. It was like, hey, check it out, cows. And so I figured it was like, this is a perfect time for a short.
Well, yep.
All right. And Peter Collins is in the house. Good to see you, Peter. And
what's going on, Peter?
And Kevin Paul. I haven't seen Kevin in a while. Good to see you, boss. And grumpy old man Joe, good to see you. And Charlie Welch says, reminded me of home. I actually kind of like the smell of cow shit. A lot of good memories tied to it. Summer and the innocence of youth. Oh, what is it? It sounds like a novel. So, other than that, obviously, I'm running into cows and early in the morning out here in the middle of nowhere. And I just dropped my video. That I thank you for helping me for throwing the intro.
Did it fix itself
intro
up and all that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think when I was just for some reason the final file when I was playing it was just lagging up when I played it. But if I went back to the source video that I sent you originally, that wasn't lagging. I don't know what the problem was. It was just in the player that I was playing in. It was just lagging up. But once I uploaded it to YouTube, everything went perfectly. So
okay.
Yeah, and it was funny because what was funny was that I was there for the premiere. I'd actually been awake for like 24 hours because I wanted to make sure that I was there and I would interact with people. And the entire time that video was playing, and I'm not citing them for it, they could do whatever they want in the live chat. There was a massive Star Wars discussion going on. So apparently what I was talking about was not that interesting. It was kind of, it may have been, I put it this deal and Dio's like, oh, it's a video from JL. Oh, it's some theist who doesn't understand, the problem of evil. Well, of course he doesn't. Okay, so, but we'll come in solidarity and we'll talk about what we want to talk about, which was Star Wars. And so
that could have been it. Or it could have just been, ADHD of our audience. It happens, you know.
True.
Hey, JL's really on something here, but that guy over there said something about Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
And I know more about Star Wars than I know about the Epicurean problem of evil.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. JS Rylander says, are we excited for Wheel of Time or dreading that they balls it up? I am 50-50 on that because one thing that I have a great deal of respect for is the obvious advancements in technology. So what they can do with CGI these days, especially when they put the money towards it, and I would say acting itself is lending itself towards adaptations. So I think it can be done. It's kind of like if you tried to do Watchmen back in the 90s, obviously you couldn't do it. But the advancements in technology, advancements in what you can do in camera, and of course with CGI allowed them to do Watchmen in the 2000s. So I'm thinking it may be time. It may be that they may be able to pull it off. So fingers crossed. I'm 50-50 because sometimes I just don't want a beloved book series to be touched. But that's just personal preference. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully they won't. Hopefully they won't balls it up. Hopefully when it comes out, it'll be like this was just a goddamn cash grab.
Well, that's all they are, right?
Sometimes, yeah, but I don't want it to be like obviously a cash grab. It's like they just did this for the money, for the title of it, and it's just like God dang it, because it's kind of like the only reason anyone would ever remake The Princess Bride or Labyrinth would be nostalgia cash grab, and that would
is exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, that would piss me. I don't know. I haven't heard any traction on the Labyrinth or Princess Bride remakes, and I think it's because they're pumping the brakes. I'm not saying they're stopping, but they may be pumping the brakes because of the outpouring of vitriol from the internet on the threat of remaking these films, these beloved films that do not need to be touched in any way.
Yeah, I don't know, because they started talking about it during the whole pandemic, like in the heat of the pandemic. I think they announced it something like March or May of last year. It may have just been something to see. Hey, maybe we can make a couple of quick bucks to kind of recoup from all the films and whatnot that we're missing. But I don't know that I think once they get an idea, we can make money, they're just going to do it. They're going to run with it, and you piss off who they may. They're still going to do it because
it's
Hollywood.
Who knows? Let me see here. Fred Knott says, hopefully it went better than Me, Myself, and Irene. Hopefully it went better than on Me, Myself, and Irene. I was like, oh wait, no, hang on a sec. Oh no, that was a reference. Okay, said Fred Knott said, I have a cop buddy who had to shoot a cow that got out to put it out of its misery after a car hit it. Ouch. That sucks. And I also feel bad for the driver because a cow will mess your car up. And then Charlie Wood said, Fred Knotts, hopefully it went better than on Me, Myself, and Irene, which was objectively a hilarious moment in that movie.
That movie was full of them, though.
Yeah.
That movie was full of it's such a good one. Such a good Jim Carrey film.
Hey, Tiny Captain, good to see you. Says, only the two beards for today, but it's the two with the real beards. This is true.
True story.
J-Dash Rhinelander.
Okay, look, hang on a second. Tony has a real beard. You just can't see it because it's the same color as his skin. So
J-Dash Rhinelander says, please don't touch Princess Bride or Labyrinth. Agreed. Do not touch those. They don't need to be touched.
You can't do the Princess Bride without Andre the Giant. You just can't do it. You can make arguments about replacing Carrie Ells and what's her name?
Robin Wright.
Robin Wright. You can make those arguments. They're not going to be good arguments, but you can make those arguments. But you can't replace Andre the Giant.
And I don't think anybody could play Inigo Montoya like Mandy Patinkin did.
Probably not.
I just don't see it.
That's why I didn't bring him up. But,
there's that one. Obviously, there's the brilliant sword fight and everything, and there's just this gorgeous sword fight that the two of them had.
Right.
And what was it? But it was this one particular moment. It was how Mandy Patinkin delivered the line, and it was when it was like when he was like when they finally resuscitate, when they give Carrie always when they give the Man in Black Wesley the miracle pill, and he wakes up. He's like, huh, what's going on? He's like, this is like, let me wait. He's like, let me explain. No, there is too much. Let me sum up. And the way he delivered that line, was just so brilliant. And I imagine that would have to be a first take, just because like, let me explain. No, there is too much. Let me sum up.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't see that. I don't see that working.
Yeah,
Just don't see it working.
Let's
some
see.
Some movies just don't need to be remade. Because again, the best that you can hope for on the majority of remakes is to be as good as the original. That's the best outcome. Very few remakes are better than the original. Very few.
I say a bare handful. We probably count them on one hand that the remakes were objectively better than the originals.
The Thing.
The Thing is one. Honestly, I have to say Maniac is one. The Maniac remake is better than they both have their own merits, but Maniac remake was better. Oh, dang it.
Arthur was better. I'm sorry. No disrespect to Dudley Moore. I just didn't really like. I thought his version of Arthur was bad because I can't stand what's her name. I can't stand Liza Minnelli as an actress. She's just terrible.
I honestly think the Freaky Friday remake was better because
the original.
The original one was Haley Mills, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
The original was Haley Mills, but the Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan swap I thought was because it showed Jamie Lee Curtis just branch out and just get to be amazing. It showed really the range of her talent, which I thought was fantastic. Yeah. And that one was really good. The Ocean's 11.
That was a good remake.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's just two different movies. You know what I mean? They both say the plot was similar, but I don't know. What was it, 1950? What was it, 60?
It was the Rat Pack. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was the Rat Pack, so it was definitely a Rat Pack film. And then with the new, I don't know. I do think they're both good.
I think the original one was just better. I think the remake was better than the original because even though obviously there are legends in the original, but
right.
I think the remake they just had better chemistry. That the cast themselves worked together and played off of each other better than the other stuff because everything
which
in the original
is weird because the original Rat Pack fucking toured together. I mean they had a lounge act every night.
I think it was ego. I think it was it just mattered and just you look at the personalities of who they are and it's kind of like Frankie, Sammy, so on and so forth, and it's like it's just I think it just got in the way. It didn't harm the film irreparably, but I thought it was solid. And right. I think it's solid, but I think I enjoy watching every one of those characters, and every time they get to interact with one another and bounce around, the dynamic is always different. It's always fun, and I enjoy it. And and they no matter who is on screen together, they always play well together.
It was probably one of the best ensemble pieces that I've seen.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Peter Collins, you only enjoy Jamie Lee Curtis in Trading Places for one specific thing. Trading Places for one thing.
Because her character was a hooker.
Although that movie was fucking hilarious.
That's yeah.
And the big questions, yes, on the Dune remake. So
okay, so the original Dune film was not good. I'm going to go ahead and say that. I'm going to put that out there. It just was not good. I mean, I guess for the time and what it was trying to accomplish, I give it credit and give it respect for that. But overall, it's just like, okay, I'm going to say this: the It remake was 10 times better than the original miniseries.
Oh yeah. The only saving grace of the original one was Tim Curry.
Yeah, you take Tim Curry out of it, the movie's terrible. It's garbage. It really is. It's a bad film. We have these weird montages that nobody in the fucking right mind asked for. Oh, hey, we're riding a silver the bike. Nobody cares. You know what I mean? It just didn't. There was lots, and I get it because it was made for television, and ABC was still kind of real Mickey Mouse at the time, and there's a lot of things that would be different. It had to come out today as a miniseries. But overall, the It film series was so much better.
Oh, yeah. They were, you just have access to better casting.
It wasn't made for television. It wasn't made for early 90s TV, which, it had to really
it could be scary.
It could be scary and not like subvert. It could be overtly scary. It could be, little girl's legs walking down the hallway. You know what I mean? It could be that kind of scary. You know what I mean?
Let me see. Grumpy Old Man Joe says Evil Dead, maybe. Well, I don't actually consider it a remake. I consider it kind of.
You say that, but it's a remake.
No, the director and the producer, the filmmakers themselves, the directors and the producers don't consider it a remake. They consider it a continuation of the story.
Yeah,
where it's kind of like it's just not it's not even a reimagining. It's not a reimagining. It's not a sequel. It's not a prequel. It's not a remake. It's just a continuation of.
Yeah, they can say that though. They can say that, but when you have a main character who ends up just like the original main character, missing the same hand with the same damn chainsaw. Sorry, it just come on. Just call it remakes. Hey, look, it's a reimagining of the story. I understand why you want to. No, it's not a remake. We don't do remakes here. No, get the hell out of here. It's a remake. So what? Get over it. Remake isn't necessarily a 4-letter word. It's when you do a remake of something that didn't need to be remade.
J-Dash Rylander says, I heard that someone is trying to do a remake of 16 Candles. I think I would actually include John Hughes films in the realm of don't touch. We don't touch John Hughes films.
I'm trying to think of a John Hughes film that you could redo that would make sense, and I just can't think of.
I can't think of a single one.
I mean, you could do A Baby's Day Out.
Leave Shermer in Illinois. Leave it alone. We don't need to go back there. That's its own little mythology.
I guess.
You know, John Hughes films, don't touch them.
I can't think of one John Hughes film that I sat down and watched and said, man, I could see this differently. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Let's see here. Quizzer Bacon says, Grumpy Old Joe, I think they were both great for what they were. The originals were great at the campy cult horror stuff, and the new was a great visioning of what he wanted for the first try. What was Grumpy Old? Oh, Evil Dead. Yeah. I mean, I think that's what I think. I think it was two different it was different ideologies, but trying to pay. I think Fede. Well, what Fede Alvarez, what director Alvarez did was he managed to land squarely in the paying homage and then embracing a new vision. So here's a new vision that pays careful homage to the legend that Sam Raimi created so long ago. So that's why I love it, and I love that movie. It's in my top 10. So let's see. The reason Inquisitor Bakes says the reason I like the idea of the Dune remake is they're wanting to do it as a trilogy to tell the story from the book. Interesting.
And so that's what the original Dune film messed up on. They try to put way too much into an hour and a half or 2 hour film. Like, no, this needs to be broken up into probably 6 films. I mean, if we want to be honest, I mean, because there's just so much that happens in the original Dune novel that you cannot get without making serious and crippling cuts, as we saw in the Dune film.
Yeah. Oh, that's new. So, Sir Little Wolf, good to see you. Good to see you in the house. And I think I said hi to everybody else. Rob Parks, good morning. Good to see you. And let me see here. And I think that's it. Breakfast Club would just be all the kids just sitting on their phones. That would be pretty much it.
Really, boring as shit. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of another good. It's tough to think of a good remake.
Oh, and Inquisitor Bacon, Ash versus Evil Dead. That 3-season series was intended as a continuation of Ash's story. So that was following Ash, whereas Mia from that continuation, if they did a sequel, it would continue on from that story, from her story. So, and there may be they from what I understand that they were talking about potential overlap with certain characters or certain places, situations, that there would be a little bit of overlap, but in essence, Ash has his story and Mia has her own, is what they intended. But we don't know where it's going to go. So, what the? Someone suggested. J-Dash Rylander says someone suggested Uncle Buck with The Rock.
No. Just no. Leave John Candy films alone, please. And that's anything that John Candy, even like the teeniest of, don't do it. Just don't do it. Can't do it.
Charlie Welch, say anything remake. Cusack holds up an iPhone instead of a boombox. Oh, what is that? What is that? This?
Yep.
That's hilarious. Oh man! Oh man! Oh, somebody just messaged me on Discord. Let me take a look at this real quick. 8 p.m. British Standard Time. Is that BST? Is that British Standard Time?
Yeah, that should be 2:00 our time.
Oh, okay. I'll have to see about that. See if I think I might be free. I'm not sure. Mr. Demon.
What the hell is that on top of your head? You look like fucking Kid from Kid and Play.
Oh, now I can hear you. Hey,
Yes,
boy.
there you
is.
go.
How's everybody?
Well, we made it this morning. It was 3 Beardsmen.
To quote Benito Mussolini, "Buongiorno, fuckers." It's not my channel, so I don't mind mentioning Mussolini. And so I got banned from Facebook the last time for even mentioning Mussolini. Believe it or not.
Well, trying to tell you, I'm literally try not to, because I'm literally 109 hours away from my watch time. Yes, I'm 109 hours away.
And you want to know
if you
something?
get my channel sunk,
I will say
at this point.
I'm going to mute myself right now. Because when I went in, I was supposed to watch your premiere last night, but then I got called away to do something. And when I went in, I was waiting to watch for the super chat thing because I want to send the first one because you sent me one of my first ones, so I want to be one of the first. I noticed you mocked my hair, Johnny O.
Did I? Did I mock your hair, or did I say you look like Kid from Kid and Play?
Is that a good thing, or I mean?
It depends. If you like Kid and Play, it's a good thing.
I feel a Guardians of the Galaxy moment coming on. It's really not.
Well, how is everybody?
Is that better?
It's not better, funnily enough. But how is everybody anyway? Any news or what's happening?
Not much.
What's your new studio? Hold on. Let me give you guys.
It's void, just like your personality.
See this corner?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
So that's the way the whole room was about a day ago. So I need to finish this side. So those bags are full of like just drop sheets for painting. So I painted all the wall this nice dark gray. As you can see, I did a really good job around this light switch here.
If you take the light switch off.
Yeah, I'm changing it out. I'm changing it out for another one. So then there's also this up here. That needs to be filled in. So I'm going to get going on that this week. But I was pretty happy with how it turned out so far. Like, as you can see, there's some gaps in the wall and shit over here, but that's got to get sorted out. So yeah, I'm going to fix all that, but I just needed to hobble something together. I got a pretty fancy desk and I put a nice flooring in, and I have the siding now. But I'm not putting the siding on yet because I haven't finished the floor yet. So
those are baseboards.
That's the one. What's siding?
Yeah.
Siding's what you put on the side.
Siding is on the side of the house. Yeah.
That's the one.
So baseboards, but those are baseboards. But the stuff up at the top is crown molding. It's crown molding.
I cannot get crown molding in this country. I can't find it. I've been to all the hardware stores and I'm unable to find it.
It's
really
tough. It's a lot of it's part of it's just lumber shortages and whatnot. So
this is true. They're finally starting. It's finally starting to come down a little bit.
Finally, I went out. I had to build a cabinet. I've got some stuff that I put in a cabinet over here for the studio, and I went out and bought a sheet of like sandwood plywood, which is not it's 3/4 inch, but it's not like it's not cheap, but it's not usually you get a good sheet for like $30. I spent $60 on this damn thing.
God
it's
dang.
nuts. My dad's decking has been down for probably 15 years, completely exposed, but it lasted really, really well. And he built it with his best friend when we moved into that house first years ago. And sadly, his best friend just passed away. He was the guy whose grave I visited in my video. And he was a great family friend. And so myself and my brother, we wanted to refurbish the decking and keep some of the original wood and make like a nice lawn chair kind of thing out of it and put a plaque with his name on it. And so we were going to redo the decking, and then we looked up the cost of wood. Yeah. And I was like, bro, we can't do this. Like, it's literally just not worth it. It's too expensive. It's crazy. So we're going to hold off on that a while, I think. The other thing, I needed to buy a shed for my motorcycle, just a little, one of those wooden garden sheds.
Right.
And it was like 3 times what it cost 2 years ago when my dad bought his one.
Yeah, just get some poles and like a tent.
So what I'm going to do,
I'm going to be getting one of those myself because the backyard that we have is absolutely ginormous. And so I'll be getting one installed actually near where my window is. I was to be put one out there so I can because I have a massive garage now as well, and I didn't have a garage when I was back in Texas. So I've got a 2-car garage that I want to be able to utilize, but all of the maintenance stuff is in is in the so my I actually have a riding lawnmower now. So because I need one for the size of this backyard, and I tell you,
awesome.
when taking the dogs out at night requires shoes, flashlights, and a stick, just in case because it's copperhead season and we need to make sure. So that's what going out here requires. I cannot tell, and not to mention spiders everywhere. I have so many spiders. I've got wolf spiders everywhere. I got jumping spiders everywhere. It's insane.
We've only got like one type of spider here, which is good, and they're harmless. Everything here is harmless. But like the yard we've got is, I can't really show it to you because it's really bad. Because like my father-in-law, as you guys know, is really, really sick, and he used to love doing his garden. It used to be so perfect. But now the grass is like head height and there's just stuff everywhere. And the back wall is like 500 or 600 years old. It's this beautiful old stone wall. And when it all dropped, like a lot of it fell down in the neighbor's yard, he was like, oh, I'll take all the stone. So there's this huge pile of ancient wall down the back of the yard. So I can't wait to make something cool out of that. It's going to be awesome. Because these houses were originally cavalry officers' houses, and so the stable is still at the bottom, which is that old wall, and there's a little like a concrete block shed that is just full of my father-in-law's old tools and stuff. So I'm refurbishing that and refurbishing the tools and been putting them to good use. It's been really great. So it's so basically just to fill people in on what's going on. So my father-in-law is quite sick for a while. He has cancer of the lung and the esophagus and a few complications with that. And the other day, I went down to my parents' house to work on my motorbike, and Mrs. Demon called me and said, we got to get him to the hospital. He hasn't eaten or drank in like 2 days. So he's going to be in the hospital for a few weeks. The day he went into hospital, his own mother passed away. So we had that funeral yesterday. So it's been pretty hectic around here, but he took it really well though, because she was really old and she'd been sick for years. So, but unfortunately, he couldn't go to the funeral, so I went on his behalf with Jen and her mom, and I had to carry the coffin and all that kind of stuff. But I've only met the lady once in my life, but so it's been pretty hectic around here, that's for sure. But the good news is, Jen's mom is awesome. She is so cool and she's really sweet, really, really funny. We just chat all day. We've always gotten on so well. And so she's actually going to join me for a live show one evening. And she's just the sweetest thing. She's so funny and she's so much fun. And she loves the dogs and they love her. So it's all going really, really well now. I actually feel, even though we have so much stuff to do, like, you know, getting all our documents sorted and our like my medical stuff sorted out and cars and everything, just kind of getting everything worked out. I still, even though I have so much to do, I feel way more relaxed now that we're home and, you know, we're there for Jen's mom and dad, you know, just being able to see family and things. You got the dogs in. Oh, you got the dogs in, right? The dogs are probably I literally just said this to Jen because she was worried that I would be getting stressed out. And I was like, even just having the dogs here has made it that much easier. So they made it through. They made it. Oh, yeah. Okay. We stayed in Dublin the night that we got there so that we could go and pick them up in the morning. Awesome. And they have just fallen in love with the place. So I'm working really hard to get the backyard done for them because they are so excited to get out there. But we had to pull up the old decking because it was really dangerous and because it was breaking through and stuff. And there's like bits and pieces of wood and nails everywhere. So I just I can't risk putting them out there right now. But they're so excited to get out there. It's like, but you know, we'll get it done this week hopefully. And yeah, I've already gone through 2 streamers, completely burnt them out. So my brother's going to give me a loan of his petrol one, so we'll get that going. We're going to be planting streamers. What is there another name? Whippersnippers. Whippersnippers? Is that what you guys call
That's
them?
what old people call young people.
Yeah, whippersnappers. Yeah,
That's a whippersnapper. What's it? What do you guys call it? The little thing. It's like a lawnmower.
An edger?
Okay. A weed eater. Yeah,
A
A weed eater. That's
A
what
weed
a weed
eater.
eater. Yeah, we
Or
call
an
that
edger, yeah.
Well,
call
it's
it
an
a
edger.
strimmer.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we call it a strimmer. I always thought Americans called it a whippersnipper, but anyway.
Well, okay, well,
I can understand why it would be called a whippersnipper because
John
yeah,
Rapp
with
is
whips and
John-
snips and shit.
John Rapp is in the house. Good to see you, John Rapp.
Hey,
So is
John
Tina.
Rapp.
So is Tina Jones. Good to see you. I think that was all who popped in. That was new. Oh no, Neil Badger's in the house who says I can hear a slight slip towards a more Irish accent. So there may be a change coming up there. They can already tell.
I actually, you know what? Funny enough,
2 weeks from now we're not.
my
Irish
mom's
is going to
best
come in.
friend- I tell you what, guys, I'm already going that way.
It's a
I'm already
beautiful
going that
morning here in Ireland.
Because let me tell you, I was on the phone the other day to my mom's best friend.
Well,
She lives up in Dublin, and she's from the north side of Dublin, so she's got that strong like Conor
That real
McGregor accent,
northern,
like
yeah.
really north side Dublin accent. So I rang.
What
her.
people
She
think
calls
all
me-
Irish people sound like.
Oh, yeah.
is that the
exactly.
Is that the brogue that they're talking about?
That's the west side of the country.
West side?
She's
Okay,
from the east.
gotcha.
So she sounds like Conor McGregor, but a lady, basically. And she calls me chicken. That's what Dublin people call, Dublin ladies call young men, kind of like. And I rang her. She's like, how are you, chicken? Are you all right, love? How are you? And I was just talking to her normal. She goes, Jesus Christ, you sound like an American. What happened to your accent? And I was like, just from living away so long. But it's slowly coming back now because of my brothers. You guys wouldn't understand a word my brothers say. Like it's unbelievable. But yeah.
I'm gonna bring a pamphlet for Caravan.
What?
Caravan. Periwinkle blue.
A caravan.
Oh, Caravan.
Jack
Hey,
Dags.
thanks.
You like Dags?
Let me tell you this, right? Where I live right now is a place called Black Rock, right? And next to Black Rock is a place called Mahon. And so if you're from Mahon, you say you're from Black Rock so that it sounds posh, because Black Rock is the nice area. Mahon is, no disrespect to any Mahonians watching, not a very nice area. But just literally, we are on the edge of what is technically Black Rock. But just down the street from me is what's called a halting site where Irish travelers or gypsies live. And so every single day you're driving down the street, there's just kids on like horse and carts just bombing it up and down the road. How you, boss? Just like riding along. And first day I was here, if you guys check out my video from last night, it's actually in there. I was parked at the local Aldi shop, and 2 kids on horses just went past in the middle of the city. I'm just saying, like, we're right in the middle of the city. And the police here, there's like an understanding. They just let them, whatever. As long as they don't go on the road, they don't care. But they still go on the road. They don't give a shit.
Group of travelers moved in next door. And before you
Traveling
knew it,
people.
we were up to our asses in thieving kids, crusty jugglers, and dog muck.
That's the way it used to be that way a lot. The traveler culture in Ireland is interesting because it's kind of like, it's hard to explain, but like travelers have this kind of, in Ireland anyway, they have this kind of like, this kind of fearsome reputation because they are fearless. They don't care who you are. They will fight any man, anytime.
We have a huge influx of Irish travelers in Fort Worth, where I've dealt with them.
I watched the video
bars.
the other day.
Yeah, I've dealt with them at bars. I've dealt with them when I worked at Toys R Us. They would come in all the time trying to steal shit.
Oh, you're a big fucker.
You're a big fucker. You're a big fucker.
Little fight.
But the thing is, the travelers around here are a bit different. The ones that stay in Ireland, and there's a lot of Irish travelers in England, they're generally quite wealthy. They're actually very wealthy, generally speaking. And so they don't do a lot of that stuff, but in certain areas, they certainly do. So you have travelers, like true travelers, and then you have what's called settled travelers, which are travelers that live in like the housing estates and stuff, and they tend to be the ones that can
so the ones that I've dealt with, they'll be in like Texas for 6 months, and then they'll run all the scams they can run, and then they'll run up to like they go to Indiana, they'll be there for 6 months. They had an asphalt company down here called Asplunda. Yeah.
Yep. They're notorious for that. They caught my mother-in-law. They did her roof. They just sat up there all day, did nothing, just banging hammers, and there was still water coming through the roof.
Yeah.
They are notorious for that kind of stuff. Like,
yeah, that shit was crazy. Like they did painting over here, and there was one house that they said they bid out for a 50-gallon job and only used like 10 gallons of paint, and just
that's
like
the kind of shit they do. Yeah,
thin that shit out, and it looked
Irish
good when it was done, and
government,
then it just washed away, and the next good rain.
the Irish government has put in place. It's like a reciprocal. It's called the reciprocal criminal action clause. So if it was kind of aimed at those people, or like itinerant workers, as it's known. That if they were to do that stuff overseas, that they would face punishment for it when they come back to Ireland. Because in Australia, it was happening a lot. It was happening a lot with roofing and asphalt and stuff like that. And they were like people wanting to kick all Irish people out of Australia because they thought it was us. And we were like, you have to understand that while travelers are Irish, they're a completely different culture within our culture. Totally different. And they say that themselves. But if you know any of them personally, they are some of the most wholesome, kind people in the world. If you were ever in trouble, like if you were ever getting beat up, or if your car broke down, or if you ever needed help, they would be there right away. That's why there's very little bullying in Irish schools, because of travelers. Jen went to school, this area, there's a lot of travelers. So when Jen went to school, there's a lot of travelers in her school. And if a kid picked on like a smaller kid that wasn't able to look after themselves, the travelers would be right in. They'd back them up right away. They'd be like, if you're going to pick on him, pick on me. So
I've had a different experience with the travelers over here in the States. I pissed them off because
overseas.
They got mad at me because I used to when they would come in, I would follow them around the store, because they would come in and they get like a big box item, empty the box out and try and fill it up and just pay for like a $30 big box item. Like, no, this is shit that can work, guys.
They know what they do. They got all the tricks, man.
I had there was this one lady who came in, and she was the queen of the Irish travelers. And she came in and filled up three cars full of shit. Pulls them up to the registers. It was late at night, of course, where it was about to close, and as they're putting the stuff on two of the carts, the cart that had the most expensive stuff, they were just kind of slowly nudging towards the front. So I watched them for a little bit, and I watched the cashier as they were doing this, and she kept pushing it closer and closer and closer to, and I finally picked the phone and says, hey, make sure you guys ring out that cart that she's trying to push past your register.
Yeah.
And he looks at her, the cashier looks at this lady and goes, ma'am, did you want this stuff too? She goes, oh, well, yeah, I guess. If you're going to make me pay for it, I guess you need to help me out with my car, too.
Exactly.
Fuck you.
That's exactly the kind of shit that and it gives us a bad name overseas, because some people don't realize the difference culturally. The difference. It's like
we call those people idiots, though.
Yeah.
Because
like we used to get
there's a huge difference. I've dealt with many Irish folk like yourself, for instance,
that are totally different. When it was a big problem here in the kind of early noughties, when the European Union opened up and workers from like Poland, Lithuania, Romania, etc. came to Ireland to work on the building sites. We had a massive influx of Roma gypsies, and they, for the most part, they live in Romania and Hungary. And they were honestly, they were a big problem. They were like professional beggars. They're known all over the world for it. And I hate to talk about a specific group that way, but it's just that was the problem. And the issue was that people were lumped in with them. So anybody who happened to be Romanian was automatically assumed to be a Roma gypsy, even though they're not. Yeah. Like one of my best mates over here is Romanian born, and it kills him because the Romanian culture, the Romanian people are such awesome people. They're beautiful, kind, warm. They're amazing people, actually, Romanians.
It's kind of funny that Romanians would be, quote, warm.
What am I missing?
It's cold.
Because it's cold in Romania.
It's cold in Romania.
Is it? Romania is
fucking like Eastern. It's Eastern Europe.
It's Eastern Europe. When it gets cold in that motherfucker.
When it gets cold.
So we have some more people who showed up in the chat that we need to say hello to. So let me see who else was up in here. Who said John Rapp? John Rapp's a weed eaters, brush cutter, weed whackers, whippersnappers. I saw someone said that the workers that work on their lawns, they call them weedos.
Weedos.
Yeah.
That's what Australians call people. That's what Australians call stoners in Western Australia. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta run because we gotta bring some clothes into Jen's dad in hospital. But I'm getting my schedule locked down now, so from next week on, I'll definitely be around a lot more. I'm doing a show tonight with Limey Play, 8 p.m.
8 p.m. y'all's time, because he just messaged me about doing that, and I think that's
awesome.
2 p.m. this time.
That'll be about 2 p.m. your time.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can, because I've been on a super roll writing, so my hours are all kinds of fucked up. So I don't know. I may be asleep. I may not be, but I've also
we'll figure something out anyway. The other thing is next Sunday, I've been invited to go to a motorcycle show up the country. So I'll be leaving super early Sunday morning our time, so I probably won't be able to do next week's show. But I was going to maybe talk to you guys potentially, and we'll need to wait for Tony, about a possible time change if it worked for you guys down the line, because where my office is right next to the living room, and around this time is when Jen's dad usually wakes up and watches TV really, 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 really loudly in there, because he doesn't hear very well, so he needs to have it on really loud. And because he's really sharp still, but he's got I can't remember what it's called, vascular dementia. It's where he's not getting enough oxygen to his brain, so he gets confused and he gets a bit frustrated. So I need to try to, for those few hours that he is awake, not interrupt him or kind of piss him off too much, because he gets a bit confused. And
so you're saying you need to soundproof that room?
We are looking into it. It won't be easy though, because of where it is. It might be a bit awkward, but we might be able to figure something out. I'm going to get some sound cladding and stuff for inside anyway, but
you can get wall pad. Our wall is like this usual, you know what I mean? It's like
the foam stuff. It's the foam stuff that looks like egg crates, and you basically
So there's another thing you can do that you can put on your wall. Like it's not like the egg crate stuff, but it's more of a sound barrier as opposed to soundproofing. It's really dense that you can set up against your wall that will kill anything that's going in and out, and it's not egg crate. Egg crate is more for acoustics, whereas this stuff is more
bounce
for
around, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. This is more for sound absorption, just to kill sound.
There's a place here in Ireland that does big sheets of it for soundproof cladding, big 2 square meter sheets. So it would do a fair bit of this room for €25. That's not bad. That's like 30 US.
Yeah.
Per sheet. So yeah, that might be a good idea. But yeah, no, if there was, maybe if you guys were thinking about possibly doing a time change down the line and something like that, we might look into that or something. But we can talk about that another time. There's no
we'll make it work for everybody, because Tony's been dealing with his
and I've been worried as well about Tony, just because of how late it was for him. Like it was like he was getting out of there at 2 a.m. I was getting out of there at like 11, so it wasn't too bad for me. And you guys have to get up super early, so even if I'm just trying to think what time it would be if we switch to like Sunday evening you guys time, or Saturday evening, whatever works for you guys.
We'll figure something out. Yeah,
we'll play with it.
Whenever they're asleep, I'm good to go, because the bedrooms are on the absolute opposite end of the house, so it doesn't matter when they're in bed. I can work away. So yeah. All right. But anyway, I got to go drop in a phone charger and stuff to Jen's dad. So we got to head away. I'm hoping to do a video today. Actually, I have a huge open window here. Here's what I'm thinking. I'll just run this by you guys before I go. So I could put just a big blackout blind on it or whatever, but it would be a pain in the ass because it's an old, really long window. It's like 2.5 meters long, and the blackout blinds are fucking outrageously expensive. So what I was thinking was get a $65,000 sheet of plywood, cut it to the exact size of the window, and cover it in black felt and put handles on it, so I can just plop it into place. It'll help with soundproofing and light proofing. And Jen's sister's piano is right under the window, so I could actually literally just pop it off and slip it down behind that. You wouldn't even see it. So that's what I'm thinking. Because where I'm at right now, there's this like 2 like fucking 400-year-old oak trees right outside the window, and the whole length of the garden, like maybe 30, 40 meters of the garden on both sides is just rows and rows and rows of bushes of just about to ripen blackberries. So I can't wait to cut those, man. I'm so excited to eat. I love picking blackberries. One of my favorite things as a child. But so I want to have that window open for when I'm working and stuff, because it's really beautiful out there. It's so gorgeous. But so yeah, I'm thinking that little pop-up board would be cool.
Yeah, modular board works.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. All right, well, I better hit the road anyway, guys. Sorry now for running in and leaving, but I'm planning a few live streams this week anyway to start catching up with people and having chats, and definitely bringing Jen's mom on. That's going to be awesome because she's so much fun. She's so lovely, and you probably won't be able to understand a word she says, but she's super sweet anyway. So. And I'd love to do it so that she could meet you guys one evening as well. She'd get a good kick out of that, I think. So she's an awesome lady, but yeah, I better hit the road anyway, guys. Thanks so much. And sorry again for popping in and out so quick, but I'll catch you all. Hopefully catch you guys later on Limey Play stream. Be awesome.
Cool.
See you later.
All right. Have a good.
Bye-bye. Take
Let's see who else we wanted to say hi to some people out there. So Daryl M's in the chat. Daryl M's in the chat. Yeah, unfortunately we don't have any Tony. He is still recuperating. Jarl Webbard, Vindiscarm is in there. Good to see you. No Average Joe. Sorry, it took me a moment to say hi to you. So good to see you, No Average Joe.
Jarl, we care about Europe.
We do.
Very much so.
Nimrod is in the house. Is holy ship, the 4 Beardsmen, and so am I so blind that I can only see 3? Now it was only 3 for the time being. Now it is back down to 2.
To the 2 Beardsmen.
And of course, we said hi to John Rapp, gave him the John Rapp treatment, and Bob Nodell's gyroscope. Good afternoon, where you are. It's morning for us. So good to see you, Bob. And let me see. J.D.S. Rylander says, Irish Demon reminds me of the seagull manager. Flies in, makes a lot of noise, shits on everything, and fricks off. Yes.
Oh, man.
Oh, and I got to agree. Charlie Welch says, hit the like, posers. Yes, please hit that like button. I am so close. I am so glad to see that. We have 32 people in the chat. I don't really understand how watch time is collated. Charlie Welch is asking, does repeat viewing, does that count towards it, or
you have to wait every, I think it's 24 hours from your IP address. So as long as it's a different IP, no, because it looks at channel 2. So it's 24 hours. You have to wait 24 hours and it'll count again. I think there's a time limit. I want to say it's 24 hours. I could be wrong about that, but you do have to wait a certain length of time before you can do a repeat. But yes, repeat does count so long as you follow those rules.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Stevie B. Good to see you. And let me see here. And Trans Girl's in the house. And it's a me, Mario. It's a me, Mario Rui. Good afternoon. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think I got a bunch of people in here up in the house. Oh, who the heck is texting me? Is anybody else getting insane amounts of
scam calls and texts?
Scam calls and texts lately?
Yep.
It's out of freaking control. Yes, this is Zantac compensation. I've been permitted to offer you a refund.
Sweet. I didn't pay for anything, so give me my refund.
What? It's so obnoxious.
I had to turn on my scam blocker.
Yeah, I'm missing doing that.
I'm missing a couple of calls that I know aren't scams, but oh well. But yeah, it's gotten bad.
Let's see. Yeah, Kevin Paul
I used
says,
to be able to kill it. Because it's always from the same people. It's always from that same little whatever, that little call center from India trying to sell you on, either solar roofing or your car warranty.
The warranties. We've got so many. There's so many of those.
But yeah, so I would get the calls and hey, how are you doing? I said, well, I feel like I just got ramrodded by a big old black dude with a nail dick. How about you? And and they just like pause for a second, and like, okay.
Let's see here. Let's see. Kevin Paul says, it's from my understanding, it's 24 hours between watching from an account, not an IP address.
Yeah, okay, that's correct. Yeah.
Awesome. Let's see. Kevin Paul says, JL set up a playlist that's 6 or 7 hours long. I'll run it when I'm sleeping to work on the hours. Every video on my channel has its own playlist. There's a shorts playlist, there's a Bridge the Divide playlist, there's a debates playlist, all of that. They all have their own individual playlists, so you can go check those out.
That somebody reached out to me and asked if you had a Bridge the Divide T-shirt.
I don't. I haven't gone into the merch of, I guess, the JL Warren merch. I never would have thought of myself as having personal merch for my personal channel. It's strange.
Kind of cool.
That'd be an idea. Yeah, I guess I could do like a Bridge the Divide shirt. I could use the image that I took from the intro and just put that up there. I could just.
That's what they wanted. They wanted that retro style.
Awesome. Yeah, I guess I could do it. That's an idea. Fantastic. I'll be on it. I will set it up because I'm so close. Like I said, I'm last I checked, I was 109 hours away from hitting my watch time. So
I think if we go an hour and a half, we have 30 people watching now, right? 30 people.
41 currently.
That should, as long as your concurrence don't dip below 10. I think 10 or 15. An hour and a half should get you there. So by the end of this one tomorrow, you should be there. You should be ready to hit your hour mark.
Awesome. Let's see. Sir Pika Pup the Benevolent is in the house. Says I've been watching a lot Jim Browning messing with scammers lately. That stuff is quite hilarious.
My favorite used to be thank you for calling Pistol Pete's One Stop Porn Shop. All dildos are half price. Would you like your 12 inches for the price of 6? And and I think I did that, and it was it was like a job recruiter that I was trying to get a job at, and like I must have the wrong number.
All right, hey Kevin, Paul, I just got your message. Totally get it, man, and I'm glad to have you in the chat. It's always great to see you. Let's see here. Charlie Welch says, 11 took me forever, so surprised how big it is. Not sure how to display it. It has little stands, and you can separate on those or leave it whole. Can't decide. I don't actually. There's one thing about reading comments. Sometimes you get them out of context.
Yeah.
Gavlar Hand of Zod, one of the most amazing names on YouTube. Good to see you. And also one of the. I see many of my incredible patrons over at Week in Horror have joined us. So it's good to see you. Let's see. No Average Joe. I don't answer either. If it's important to leave a voicemail. This is true. Sometimes it'll be like if you have an iPhone, it'll be a voicemail. It'll be like hello ... It's like cannot transcribe or some crap or whatever. So yeah. Pio. Oh, Pio says peace from Hamburg. Pio is an amazing debater a really really cool dude that I met via Discord. I ran into via Discord, and he has been privy to several of the interactions I've had on Discord. I haven't seen Pio in a bit. I'm assuming that he's busy, but it's good to see you. Thank you for popping by. The dude is so freaking cool. And Christian Ganelius. Is it Christian Ganelius?
We'll go with that.
Christian Ganelius. So what is this?
The two gets yelled at.
What is this? The two Beardsmen? Apparently, yeah, it's the two Beardsmen right now.
Yeah.
Irish was on briefly, but he had to bounce out. He's dealing with he's doing the transition thing just like I was doing when I was transitioning. And I was just transitioning states, and it really waylaid me, because I had to focus everything on maintaining Week in Horror and keeping that up. And then, of course, when you're doing your own personal channel and stuff, it took everything out of me. So luckily, I'm back on track now, and it just takes time. He's moving country, so I can't even imagine how difficult that is. Nimrod's in the house. Good to see you. Says, dear sir, I would like to talk. Dear sir, I would like to talk about your arrest warrant for your car's warrant. Very true. Very true.
Yeah, that's exactly what they say.
Oh, technically, that's right. Fred Knotts is right. Technically, it's 4 if you include the beards in their pants.
You're assuming I have a beard in my pants.
Oh, that's frightening.
Oh man, who says you can't have fun? Who says you can't have fun on a Beardsman show?
And Chris Durham Music Channel's in the house. Good to see. He has been lurking. What's up, Chris? Oh, so I'm curious. So just dropped okay, let's see. I just dropped a video, and you dropped your deal about it, which was a continuing look at the Moorish sovereign citizen thing. I actually looked into it, and I found a website that breaks down the entire history of this thing. And there is this this group called the MRST or the MSRT. No, it's MRST. but it's the Moorish Republic. Actually, MRST is the Moorish Republic Science something. And they actually, and it was, and the Moorish sovereign citizen deal that you were focusing on, that you've looked at, is actually a splinter faction off the MSRT.
Yeah.
And the MSRT wants nothing to do with them, and they actually denounce them because the Moorish sovereign citizen deals, they're like that lady you're covering, they're hostile. They've been known to get violent, and they've been known to actually seek out people to assault and go. So they're extremists. Yes. But they're And I found that to be interesting because I dived into the history of it. This thing dates back to like the early 1900s. The MSRT does. And then it was in the 90s that the Sovsit thing started popping up. And now it's obviously got more prevalence with the advent of the internet. That we see them all over the place. But when it comes down to it, they're still full of shit. So
they're grifters. That's all it is.
They're grifters. Yeah,
it's just the same bullshit that you get from sovereign citizens. They just don't want to, don't want to. Oh, I'm going to buck the trend, and I'm not going to abide by the rules, and I don't want to pay taxes because I don't have to. And I can't stand these assholes.
Why was the lady screaming in the hallway when the guys had already walked away? They left. They went to another floor.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. And then they're gone. And then she just stands there because she's on camera. And she said, I realize the person is still filming her. And she says she's got to get it on film. And if she goes chasing after them, that could be considered a threat because she's pursuing them. And then they take it as a threat. They can defend themselves. So, and then of course, I'm dropping this off, and you're gonna block this, and then she's out right quick.
Oh yeah. She, I think she's got some mental issues, some mental health issues. So I don't want to speak too disparagingly of her, but that lady's fucking 2 Happy Meals short of a Happy Meal.
She's a few Boy Scouts short of a jamboree.
God, my goodness.
A few ants short of a picnic. A few Crayolas short of a box.
That shit crazy, okay?
Crazier than a rat in a tin shit house in the middle of a Texas summer.
It's bad.
It's pretty bad.
It's bad.
But yeah, I was looking into that. I found it to be really interesting stuff. I wonder if I can actually find that. I was kind of curious. Moorish. It's MSTA. My bad. It's the MSTA, Moorish Science Temple of America.
Yeah, they want nothing to do with these new idiots.
Yeah,
no, this is not our fight.
Yeah, founded in 1913. Yep. So, but yeah,
we pay taxes.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff. And
we pay for our Wi-Fi and our telephone services.
Chris Durham Music Channel. She's frictitious. Yes. Frictitious.
And at first I thought that was just somebody who didn't know how to say the word, but no, that's a choice. That's a conscious choice that she's making. Because apparently in that sect of these Moorish Americans, they do that. They change words. Because they're trying to, quote, own the language. I'm no, that's not how that works.
No.
It makes you look stupid.
It makes you look very dumb. Let me see. So
what she kept saying, commercial?
Yeah. Let me see. Somebody said like that. Transgirl says, jail. They even called arty corporate fiction an effing Jew in a debate, and they aren't racist. I didn't catch that debate, and that's pretty fucking twisted. That's just silly. Yeah.
I always liked it whenever someone would say something about, I forget who it was. I don't remember who it was, but they said, "You're a Jew." He's like, okay. And
Basic Trigonometry says, did anyone see Dave Grohl trolling the Westboro Baptist Church? If that happened recently, I didn't. I have to go and look it up, but that will probably be funny as hell. But that church is dying. I mean, that church, is literally on the
verge. No, it's dead. It died when Phelps Sr. died. And
it's literally, if they get in any money whatsoever, it's they're pretty much ineffective. There's methods now for dealing with them. There are groups of people, there are motorcycle clubs that specifically look out for them and then go and basically, they basically create walls of these giant burly
that was the
guys.
Hell's Angels, wasn't it? That did that.
I don't know if it was the Hell's Angels.
I thought it was the Hell's Angels that did it for the soldiers when they were trying to protest the
I know that I just heard about motorcycle clubs doing it, and that they'll have their little area where they can protest, and then the motorcycle guys will roll up and park the bikes and then just stand in front of them and create like this big ass wall of just burly men, just like and just stand there. I just think that shit is hilarious.
Yeah,
but yeah, they're dead. I mean, they're pretty much gone. There's no worrying about that. I think I saw Thor Rasmussen in the houses. Good to see you, Thor. Always good to be visited by the god of thunder.
Thunder and lightning, yeah.
Let me see. Do we have someone new? Oh, no, I was saying. Charlie Welch says, Foo did it again. That's twice now. So funny. Foo have a thing where it becomes the DGs and the Bee Gees do Bee Gees songs. They drove by them playing You Should Be Dancing this weekend. That's amazing. That is awesome. John Raps, a serious question. Why do we still have religions? For fuck's sake, it's the 21st century.
Because people need their vices, and they need their structure, and there's nothing inherently wrong with faith and religion. It's the bastardization of those faiths and religions when they're used to justify stupid shit, and it happens way too often.
Well, it's because it's easy.
Yeah. So it's easy to say, well, we can't do this, or we should be doing this because God says this, or Allah says that. So therefore, if I believe this to be a thing, then you must believe this to be a thing. And here's the thing: it's not everybody in those religions. You get a lot of Muslims that are like, yeah, I'm Muslim, but that's me, not you. Or you get Jews that are, hey, I believe in the Torah, but that's me, not you. Same thing with Christians. There's a lot of people that are cool about it that do their own thing. Like MC Toon, right? MC Toon he's a man of faith, and he doesn't push his bullshit on people.
Well, he also comes at his faith with intellectual honesty, and that's all a person like me. That's all a person like me asks. It's just, when it comes down to it, when you understand that irrational beliefs lead to irrational behavior, and while you understand that your belief may be irrational, you are aware of it. You accept it, and then you realize that certain behaviors are irrational and should not be undertaken, even if your irrational belief justifies it. When you're aware of that, you won't see someone like MC Toon or some other cool people. Like one particular girl who goes by Claire on Discord is one of my favorite Christians. I love the girl to death. She's absolutely amazing. One of the most intellectually honest people theists I've ever run into. She's an absolute sweetheart. Just not aggressive, completely open to listening, will always listen to what the other person is saying, and make sure that she understands it before she has a response. She's absolutely agreeable. We love having her on the stages when it's a bunch of atheists up there, and it was hilarious. She finds us more fun to hang around than the fellow theists, because the theists end up eating each other.
Yeah, but part of that in Discord is because that Darth Dawkins infection, right?
Yeah, it's this carte blanche thing. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he gets in and he infects whatever server he's in with his bullshit, and people, for some unknown reason, it's not just a Darth Dawkins thing; it's a bully thing that people always flock to the bullies, and they want to be. You get those weak-minded people like what is that? Concrete, who recently broke away from that bullshit, but he's still just as weak-minded. Robin, who is it? Robin. Or is it
Parakeet?
Parakeet, yeah. Aptly named. Because this little bird just chip, 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 chip. And all these people that mirror that Darth Dawkins bullshit, and it's toxic. It's an infection. He is a piss poor representation of people of faith, because I've known hundreds of these of Christians and people of faith who are nothing like that. Like, yeah, this is for me. It may not be for you, and that's perfectly fine. I accept you for who you are. You don't have to bow to my whim. You don't have to believe what I believe. They don't push their bullshit. And I think that, that again, that Darth Dawkins infection is just, it's so easy. It's a just festering shit, and people don't want to get, I don't know. I've never understood the getting behind the bully mentality. I was always a guy that, well, if you're going to bully this kid, then bully me too, because I'm bigger and I can handle it.
Right.
punch you in the fucking face if I have
Let me see here. Somebody said something. Nimrod said, jail warren, religion isn't a bad thing. People do bad things. Bad people do bad things. There are bad people on all sides, etc.
Yeah.
I agree. I half agree with you there. The best retort I could come back with is Steven Weinberg, who's a physicist who recently passed away, and an atheist as well. I said, with or without religion, you would have good people doing good things and evil people doing evil things. But for good people to do evil things, that takes religion. The end.
I don't know.
Well, I admit that Weinberg was a bit snarky on that one, but when it comes down to it, he's not wrong. Brass tacks, he's not wrong. And yes, our population is more diverse. There are many, many shades of gray. I understand that. He's looking at it from a very pragmatic, very basic point, very brass tacks point of view. And it's, I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, you can always argue the shades of gray. I can't remember the guy.
I see you there, Crafty. I see you. Can't sneak behind me.
The guy who said, I have to look up his name again. That basically the only thing necessary for evil to flourish is for good men to do nothing. Well, you can argue all day long the various stages or the various gray areas of non-involvement. Whether you're protecting yourself, whether you're protecting your family from reprisal, whether you're doing this or you were under order. You can argue those all day long. But the reality is, brass tacks, evil flourishes when good men do nothing, when good people do nothing. And it's the same as in this one. You want good people to do evil shit? Religion is a surefire way to do it. It's almost perfect for it because it justifies behavior that is wholly irrational. So that's why I half agree with that. And I acknowledge that the Weinberg quote is a little snarky and that it's kind of like that, but I understand where he's coming from. Not to mention, look at the stuff that because he just recently passed away, I think in July. Look at the things he saw throughout his lifetime.
This is what I find funny about this whole atheism, theism thing. Like when you talk to theists, all atheists are bad. They do bad things.
Oh yeah, yeah.
When you talk to atheists, all theists are bad. They do bad things. Both sides are telling the exact same story, just from different points of view. And I think that the truth of the matter is somewhere in the middle. To sit there and say that, well, to get good people to do bad things, you need religion. That's bullshit. To get good people to do bad things, you just need the right pressures. Sometimes that can be religion. Sometimes it can be something completely different. You can get some non-religious folk to do some really bad shit under the right pressure.
Worship tends to lend itself to it. You get somebody worshiping something, you can get them to do pretty much anything.
Yeah, like money.
Yeah, well, there you go.
You know what I mean?
Let me see who else is in here. So, but yeah, 50-50. I get where you're coming from, Nimrod. I absolutely do. But there was some other stuff. I want to make sure I hit everybody because there was some good stuff in that chat. Let me make sure I didn't miss something.
Crafty's here. Make sure you say hi.
Oh, hey, Crafty. Good to see you.
She said she was being so subtle with her entrance.
God damn, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Oh, dang it. Okay, hang on a sec. I can't find Nimrod's deal to me. It doesn't matter who gives the message. The point is, do you get to me, it does not matter who gives the message. The point is, did you get the message? As no average Joe. And I think it depends upon what the message is and the motivations of the people who are giving the message. That's what it comes down to. Let me see. Fred, I did not say Clay. Yes, no average Joe. Claire is awesome. There it is. I found it. Okay, you should be hating. You should say. Christian says, I've had a few religious experiences in the wrong company. I would still be a fundy. Yeah, that it's scary how easily it can happen. Thor Rasmussen says, can we talk t-shirts for a little while? Still waiting to order the vinyl with a shirt.
Oh, Thor Rasmussen. Yes, we are working on a redesign of the new shirts. So, we're putting out a new shirt. So, give me some time.
Awesome.
At this point with the Invasion Id stuff, I just wrote the songs and sent them out to be producer. I'm really kind of like outside looking in on this whole thing with the with all like production wise, with promotion wise. The singer he came to me a few years ago and said, hey, I'm trying to put a project together. Would you be interested in doing this, that, and the other? I said, cool, I'll write a couple songs for you. And, my initial involvement was I'm going to write a few songs and just, give them to him. And then he was like, hey, I need, I need some more involvement, this, that. Cool, let's do it. So yeah, there's a lot of things. Like if this were truly a project headed by me, I would have all the answers for you, but I don't, because I'm really kind of taking a back seat on this one here, letting someone else run the show for a bit. Cool. So
speaking of which, we also have a remember at the end of the month, the limited edition number 3 shirt on the Week in Horror website. For those of us who follow us on the Week in Horror podcast, that is coming off the shop at the end of the month. And prices are currently reduced to their lowest that I could possibly make them. And still, Teespring will still print the shirts. And then we have our next limited edition number 4 shirt coming up. I think you guys will like it when we unveil it. Probably do that a little bit after the season 3 when we unveil the season 3 artwork in September. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. It's like 2 weeks away or 3 weeks away.
Yeah, I cannot wait. The trans girl says, JL Warren, I always wonder why is it okay for them to tell me what I can and cannot do, but it's almost a crime when I do the same to them. And they think they have the moral high ground. Their God or whoever they're having to worshiping, they believe that everything comes from that individual, and that individual, that being or entity sets the standard. And if you go against that you don't have anything, and you don't have any morals. You're an immoral, monster, and you can do whatever you want. Everything is justifiable, so on and so forth. Which is you're a monster. Which is basically, just flies in the face of what we like to call reality. Yeah. Let me see here. Neil Badger says, my belief would be that God was the singularity at the beginning of the universe. I am not sure on the Sky Daddy bestowing gifts upon the most devout who take all the fun out of fundamentalism. That we could just call it the singularity. The term God has so much baggage that comes along with it. Or, like I've said, you can reason yourself to deism. The nameless, faceless entity that kicked the football on the universe and then fucked off with no evidence of its existence. Sure, you can reason yourself.
He created the universe and then has been like a kid playing with different toys. Says, "Ooh, I got a new shiny toy. I'm kind of bored with this one now. I'm going to go play with another toy.
Make another universe somewhere else.
Not a universe, but a planet. You know what I mean?
You never know.
I'm going to put a planet over here in the Milky Way galaxy.
You never know.
Solar system, and then I'm going to go over here and make another one. So yeah, Or we could all just be, flying space dust that is sentient and intelligent. Who knows? Or at least intelligent by our standards.
I understand the appeal and the draw towards looking at the universe in a poetic way, and I don't have an issue with it. Just as long as we recognize that it's looking at the universe in a poetic way, and not as a means of justifying that things exist. That minds exist outside of bodies, transcendentally outside of time and space. Conjuring stuff out. As long as we do it that way. Like you say, oh, we human beings, all the universe experiencing itself. Sure, you want to go that John Lennon Yellow Submarine stuff? You go for it.
I was going to say it only works if you do it like exactly the way you just did it with the Beatles references and everything. Otherwise, it's just bullshit.
Ooh, look at me! Oh. You know which Beatles songs are great? It's the ones that I wrote. All the ones he wrote are shit.
Was that Dewey Cox?
That was Dewey from Road Dewey. There is no limit to what we can imagine.
So stupid.
Paul Rudd is it was Paul Rudd is John Lennon.
Yeah.
Jack Black is Paul McCartney. Jason Schwartzman is Ringo, and Justin Long is George Harrison. Yeah. Brilliant casting, just brilliant casting. You know which ones are good? All the ones I wrote. All the ones he wrote is shit.
Yeah.
There's Crafty Keeler's hello. And let me see here. Alien X Gaming is in the house. Good to see you, sir.
Did you sneak in Alien X? I didn't see you.
He did. Said, what are we talking about? Sorry, I just got here.
We don't even know.
Yeah. Well, and someone else was like that. Said Stevie B said, God must have been lonely being the only one. Well, there's problems with this, is that the vast majority of theists will claim that God is eternal, God has always existed. And then so that means that there is an infinite regress of God. And whereas if we say there is no God, and the universe, and some atheists would be like, I have no idea. It's like, well, did the universe have a beginning? Did it not? Then it's an infinite regressive universe. Well, that's fine. There's nothing logically incoherent about an infinite regress of the universe. Okay, but
Right.
and there's nothing illogically incoherent about an infinite regress of a God. The problem is that when we say an infinite regress of the universe, that's just basically saying, well, there's probably aspects of science that we don't understand, so we're not going to assert answers until we know what it is, until we have evidence.
Well, there has to be science that we don't understand.
Yeah,
it has to be. There's no. I mean, that logically follows because we don't know everything.
Right. And then, but there are problems that come along with saying that God is an infinite regress of God, because that means God sat around for eternity, or for what basically for forever before us, for all the time before us. At minimum, what is it, like 10 billion years before he deigned to create the Earth?
Again, he could have been playing with another planet.
Well, I mean, sitting around playing, or however, but there are issues. There is along the, this is why I kind of hope that aliens show up, because a more advanced species that has a greater understanding of the universe and could like open our eyes to various areas of science. This would be amazing, and obviously would open the doors on a lot more problems along those lines. But it would definitely solve a lot of the primitive problems that we have here on Earth, which I think would be very, very good. Chris Durham says, I'm dyslexic. I believe in dog, and I have a sign on my lawn that says, beware of God. Let's see here. But that's a big
Crafty asks a good one. Says, where's the lazy little shit of a co-host that lives in a country where it's almost 3 p.m.? He was here earlier and he fucked off because he had to take care of help take care of Jen's dad. So,
and Mr. Malord is in the house. Good to see you.
Mr. Malord.
Mr. Malord is in here. And Alien X Gaming says, JL, well, I am here. I have some answers, just not the answers you want to hear. I'm willing to hear any answers. If so, like when we do the stages on Discord, we'll be up there and be like, we'll be up there and say, well, it's basically like, do you believe in God? And why do you believe? So what do you believe, and why do you believe it? Isn't that just what we do? It's like, is there evidence for God? Is Christianity true? Yada yada yada. And we look at people. We don't just be like, we're not just up there to go like, no, you're wrong. No, but we look at the logical implications, the consequences of defining God a certain way, the consequences of having God a certain way than what we observe in the universe, which is the reason why Dawkins himself said the universe that we observe does not reflect this definition of this being. If there's an omniscient, omnipotent, omnibenevolent, morally perfect creature or entity that created everything, the universe we observe does not reflect that, because having all these attributes on that God, there are logical implications that there are. I mean, there's things that this being that come inherently with that behavior. Exactly, something that is something that is omnibenevolent, or if you want to say all loving, something that would not create evil, because such a concept would be outside of it, because it's omnibenevolent. It essentially is love. So that means that God is so if just by virtue of the existence of evil and suffering, then it's not omnibenevolent. It's so one of the
problem that I've always had with the theist counters to, or the atheist counters to theism, and I'm not talking about like the asshole-ish theists like Garth Dawkins or whatnot. I'm talking about just like the issues of addressing a creator, God, whatever you want to call it. Is that I think that atheists and theists in this debate get too hung up on what we have defined the spirit, the potential spirit being to be. You know what I mean? Like our definitions get on like because I honestly the whole traditional Western concepts of God, that's bullshit, right? That's just that they're logically inconsistent with what we observe, and anybody who says anything otherwise is being wholly dishonest.
Yeah. I like this syllogism. Premise 1, God is love. Premise 2, love is blind. Conclusion, Ray Charles is God.
What about what about Stevie Wonder?
Oh.
Because there you go. Because Stevie Wonder actually had Ray Charles is good too. But you get too much into everybody wants to get into these what we believe to be, and that's fine, right? That's fine to discuss those terms. But I think the problem that I have with atheists who get into these is that they're too busy trying to deconstruct these terms. And maybe it's because the theists desperately want to cling on to them. And I think what both sides could benefit from would be a healthier conversation, not necessarily for the assholes of the theist groups, but some of the other people that are kind of, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
We're talking about, hey, whereas I see, these traditional Western concepts of God as being wholly contradictory. They just contradict what we see in reality. That doesn't necessarily mean that a God or a creator doesn't exist.
Yeah. I like this. Charlie Welch says JL has no passion about this. It's obvious. LOL. None whatsoever. None whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
I'm merely driven by cold calculating logic. That is all. That is all I'm driven by.
I forget who was it. Somebody who said that if you take science and religion and then erase everything we know about science and religion, erase everything, and start over, science will be the same now as it was back. You know what I mean? The discovery of things is going to be the same, whereas religion.
Especially if you did it now. Say you take 2021, wipe out all religious texts and all religious knowledge and all scientific texts and all scientific knowledge, and we start at the same point right now, and we start at the exact same point right now, just by virtue of where we're currently at with our infrastructure or whatever, and you start building things back up. Religion would not look anything like
it would be different.
It would be completely different. But science. All exactly the same because the science doesn't change. This is why you get the effects, which is why you get phenomena, which is really weird, of like two people creating calculus in two different places, not working together.
Right.
Completely
independent.
Because this is what science is.
Right.
That's literally what it is. And this is how you can have independent people who are not informing one another come to the exact same conclusions as each other. In separate, it's just like, oh wow, kind of like this. Here's my finding. Well, I came with the same findings over here. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. Yeah,
exactly.
So, we do have an alien invasion. A guest Beardsman who decided to pop in, and boom.
Hi.
There he is. I recognize that guy.
No, you don't. No.
Oh, I don't.
This is not the alien you're looking for. So Alien X, how are you doing?
Not bad. How you guys doing?
Good.
Excellent.
Just your usual breakfast conversation about theism and atheism and.
Well, I was actually going to see if I could kind of go over, not really my beliefs type of thing, but like something like how I grew up and like compared to what I am into now.
Sure.
So like I was raised a Christian, okay, and like
if you don't mind, and non-denom, any particular.
Well, I was baptized Lutheran, but never
confirmed.
Yeah, didn't do the
confirmation. Yeah, I was baptized and confirmed. I was confirmed Methodist.
So I kind of went went basic, just normal non-denominational Christian. Okay, so I used to believe the Jesus thing, and then of course God and all that crap. When I came to this community, is when it kind of opened my eyes as far as like scientific studies and stuff like that, and just real facts. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like I'm not saying that it totally killed my whole religion, which it did, but I'm at the point where I want to believe.
You won't need this anymore,
right? Yeah, exactly.
That's not creepy at all, JL.
I want to believe that there is something. Okay, what I don't know. Okay, and to be, there's just so much science just disproves so many things that it's ridiculous. And but the real question is, how did this evolve into this and all that other shit? And there's there's always going to be the unknown. I want to believe that there's something, and I want to believe that, and if there is something, and fine, cool, whatever. I don't know what the hell it is. I'm not going to point a finger at a certain religion or a certain God. But with
spaghetti monster.
I will agree that I think that there will be an infinite regress of inquiry.
Sure.
That there will always be another question to ask about what we see or what we measure or something or what we observe.
Right.
There will always be an infinite regress of inquiry, which actually makes me feel very good. It makes me feel very good for humanity. It makes me feel very good for the universe. It's like there's always a question to ask about what's next. You get around the corner of one thing and there are more questions. This is a good thing. The minute there stops being questions, that's bad.
Oh, sure.
Because where can we go from there? There's no more questions to ask, then we're stuck. Exactly. We cannot progress from that point. And that's one of the things that I said that sits with me the most is God is a cap to inquiry.
Oh, sure.
And because God did it.
Only if you're going to be intellectually lazy, you can do that. And then that's kind of, and I understand what you're saying, that kind of where religion leads you to is to just to go ahead and say, oh, it's a God thing. Cool. And I would say that there are religious people out there, theists out there, who would say, no, we need to go further. We need to continue the quest, continue asking the questions, because you'll never be in most of the people that I've dealt with who are intellectually honest about this conversation don't think that true enlightenment can happen if you stop asking questions. Even if you think, well, God, no, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
Why? How? Who? You know what I mean? So there's that, like people talk about God of the Gap stuff. I think I completely agree that it is intellectually lazy to say, well, because of God. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. Why? Why did God say this? If that's going to be your go-to, then why? Can you answer? Well, because he wanted to. No. There's
no explanatory power there whatsoever.
Right, exactly. You can't say, it's like I get into these. I get into this. I've worked with my kids. Why did you do this? Because.
Yeah,
there's something that has to come after because.
It's like I mean that's why one of the funniest lines ever in the series, in the Supernatural series, was when God and Lucifer finally sit down to talk, and so to hash out their differences because they have bigger problems they have to deal with. So the two of them are sitting down to talk, and fucking Lucifer is like, everything is a tautology with you.
True.
We kind of jumped off of there, but Alien X, continue on where you were
sorry.
Going with that.
Well, basically, I was just going to go with, we would be like, even if God proved himself, okay, there's still more questions. You know what I mean? So, I mean, like, religion is just something that can never even be fathomably proved. You know what I mean? There's so many crazy shit.
Right.
But, like, with science and stuff like that, like, if we evolved from, everything, we would be, I would say, intellectually dishonest if we didn't think that there was life on some other planet somewhere. Yeah. You know what I mean? And not necessarily having technology, but sure, why couldn't they? Why couldn't they be more advanced than us or just as advanced? I'm not saying they're going to look like us or anything crazy, but like,
I'm curious. What do you think? I mean, based on what we have observed, talking about the conversation we had earlier, where science would be science regardless of whatever. If let's go ahead and assume that there are intelligent life forms out there, wouldn't they, look like us? Wouldn't you think they would be very similar to us because of the way that there might be some evolutionary differences and pressures and whatnot that might be different, but
it's hard to say. I mean, because the reason we look the way we look, evolutionarily speaking, is simply because the evolution that's stacked on top of each other. So we're the end result of evolution continuously stacking up on itself, because evolution doesn't go back and fix things that don't work. It just keeps stacking the repeated gene alleles or the alleles on top of each other. So that's why with the various evolutionary pressures that came along and said, selected for those particular things. So on another planet, I mean, you talk about the evolutionary pressures would have to be pretty much the same, with the same kind of evolutionary jumps that we make, because we also have evolutionary jumps in response to the predators and the competitors that we were dealing with. The cave lions, cave bears, the wolves, so like we were competing with those. This is the form that was able to successfully compete and be selected for against all of those pressures. But you raise up, something kind of similar to us, but there's no wolves, then those evolutionary advantages that we have that gave us advantage over our competition won't exist, because there's no reason for them to be selected for.
Well, but wouldn't there would be other pressures that would be similar, right? Just because it's not a wolf doesn't mean it's not some sort of apex predator.
You can literally have a weird atmosphere where nothing grows above 5 feet. So, because of something that happened. So all life on it is very. So all life on it is very small, is very short, because anything larger than that doesn't, can't stay down. Exactly. It's not efficient enough. Just like after the KT extinction event, the only thing that survived were things that were very, very tiny, like the earliest mammals, which were were tiny and shrew-like, because very little oxygen necessity and very little food necessity.
Well, again, I'm not saying
were
that
very low. So
I'm not saying that there's a JL clone out there somewhere. What I'm saying is that wouldn't it logically follow that whatever?
I hope there isn't, because if I find him, we're gonna Dutch rudder it all day long.
Whoa,
whoa! Come on, you do it too.
I think JL Warren's clone would be like the ultimate religion figure or some shit, and
that would be hilarious.
He's like the mirror opposite of myself.
Yeah,
the dude is just like
comes in with a coif and everything. Hey,
he's completely shaved but has hair.
Yes.
And then he's like, "Oh, God is real. Oh,
God is good. God led me here, JL."
what the fuck is that? Fucking incense? What the fuck?
LJ has to leave.
Oh fuck. Give me 2 seconds. I just heard my wife. I'm going to bring her morning coffee. You guys continue on. I just have to mute for just a moment.
I want my morning coffee.
But anyway, so
go ahead. I'm sorry to derail. I'm not trying to derail your story.
Worries. But it's just what I was saying was just I think I wish there is something, but there's so many things that prove otherwise. You know what I mean? And even with the other the thing, how huge space is. There's got to be something else where even more evolved than us. And I don't even think that we're the end of our evolutionary chain either. I think in a million years from now, I mean, we might be slightly different as far as humans. You know what I mean? We
might not even be here as a species.
That's true too. We might fuck ourselves into non-existence, but that's more than likely what's going to happen. But
yeah, probably.
But even if we did survive, I mean, I think that we might look completely different in a couple million years. You know what I mean? If we're still here. We never know. I mean, some animal might take over everything and we're just done. You know what I mean?
That's true. We could have the new dinosaurs come out. That'd be kind of cool. Dinosaurs Part 2.
Ooh, I'm down. Who doesn't want to ride a raptor? I mean, really?
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's just to think that we came from nothing is a hard concept to grasp, and it took me a long time to kind of realize the I guess I want to say the truth, because obviously nobody really knows, but there's just so much proof otherwise. So it has definitely changed my my views on religion. And there's so many questions, if you ask a priest or a pastor, that they don't have answers. It's just the generic thing. It's almost like talking to a flat earther where it's the same goddamn argument. Oh, it just is.
Yeah, circular reasoning. Yeah, Jesus. Again, those people are intellectually dishonest. And,
oh my God.
We got to have faith. Why do I have to have faith? Can you just help me out? Can you, I had one Baptist, and it was funny that it was a fucking Baptist, by the way, but one Baptist preacher he told me, look, this is not. There's nothing that makes logical sense here. Okay, this is all faith based. Keep asking questions because that's how you'll find, that's how you will figure this stuff out, by continuing to question everything.
Right.
And he wasn't talking about religion. He was just talking about life in general. But yeah, he was very pragmatic about it. He was very honest. Like, look, this is faith. This is not logic. The two, you can't use logic to prove faith. It doesn't, it's like, what I mean? It's counterintuitive. Doesn't work.
And then you keep asking questions, and then all right, so they're like, well, keep asking because God will reveal or whatever the bullshit, and then you keep asking questions, and the more and more you ask, and the more you answer, the more it disproves their belief.
Which ultimately, I think their belief is, or that belief is flawed in many different ways. And if it's because people keep perpetuating the laziness, the intellectual laziness of that pursuit, that they fall on the fact that they have to be right because of whatever, just know, I believe I'm right because of faith, because of this, because of that. You know what I mean? That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But when you're sort of saying, well, no, it has to be this way because, logically speaking, no, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it's not.
You can't use logic. Yeah, it's right. You can't use logic that is based in, the ultimate truth that 1 + 1 is 2 to demonstrate that God exists. You can't do it. It just doesn't work.
No, the stories, they're just so provably unbelievable in the Bible. 99% of them. You know what I mean?
You get too many people that want to use a parable as as fact, and it doesn't work. No, everything in the Bible is factually true. Okay, cool. Then how come the Bible is the only historical book that suggests that these things happened?
Yeah, and most of the stories came from other ancient civilizations. It's not,
Oh yeah, they were all borrowed. There's nothing original in the Bible. It's the biggest book of plagiarism from the pagans, the Romans, the Greeks, Sumerians.
But yes.
And you two gonna give me shit for copyright material?
Yeah, right.
What was it? The Epic of Gilgamesh is one of the big ones. That story made it in there. I was just outside, and I know this is totally off topic, but I know there's some people out there who were probably curious. I wanted to give a little bit of an update on Jingles real quick. So for those of Alien, you probably weren't aware, but my dog Jingles was having some problems, and we took it. He was losing weight. He wasn't interested in food for some reason, and it was we were like, and he's like about 7 years old. He's a German Shepherd. Okay. So we were a little concerned. So my wife took him to the vet. And the vet told us that he was suffering from chronic kidney failure, chronic renal failure. No. It's something that happens to German Shepherds, and however, we were like, oh no, and we were all like upset, and it was because I love that dog so much, and I don't know if that is the case now because I started thinking that he may have gotten into something in the backyard because we had a lot of foliage that we had to clear out and a lot of weird stuff growing back there. So, but as of current right now, Jingles has gained weight. He has gained weight. He is eating food normally. His food, he's back to wolfing down his food, dry and the wet stuff. So he's eating normally again. His bathroom, he's going to the bathroom normally again. Because people who have dogs know that his poo looks normal. He's peeing regularly. His energy is back up. He's acting like himself again, and. Did
all that happen before or after you guys moved?
It was after we got up here. So
probably depressed.
It may have been that. It may have been depression. It may have been stress from the move. It may have been he ate something on whatever. We're not 100% sure. But all of a sudden, now we think it also may have been an issue with the water because there was some water issues up here with some issues with the water table. But as it stands, now he drinks nothing but purified bottled water. Both of the dogs do because we don't want Chauncey having the same problem.
Do they get lime wedges in their water?
No, they don't. Not that special yet. And so now he's on the up and up. So we are going to take him back in here in a couple of weeks. We're still watching him, still maintaining him. He's probably looking at us like, "Why you spend so much time on me?" Because we're always paying so much attention to him. He's kind of like, "Oh, leave me alone." But
I'll eat. Right.
So we're going to take him in to get his creatinine and get his PNR tests again, and make sure that his enzymes and levels are make sure his kidney enzymes are working. But he is not acting like he was before. Like I said, he's returning to his normal self, acting like his normal self, rolling around, whining all the time, doing his thing. When we go outside, he's skipping around, bouncing around, wants to fight wants to tug of war with his sister, and play with the. We're very, very pleased. He seems to be bouncing back. I don't know what it was. I'm still a little annoyed that the vet gave my wife the news that he gave her because it upset her terribly. And it would have upset me as well. I'd have been pissed. But I can't wait to take him back. And she tests him. She's like, well, it seems to be doing okay now. I don't know what it was. It's like, right. So, but nonetheless, he's doing much, much better.
Well, they do call it practicing medicine for a reason. You never get it right. I'm just kidding.
So we're very happy about that. Just writing it off like that is something so like this is what it is. Something didn't fly with me, because there were just things. And my wife was like, she felt bad. Angela felt bad because she was so devastated by the news that she may have not asked some of the questions that she thought she needed to ask when she was thinking about it after the fact. And that's okay, because you never want to get news like that about a pet. And
just imagine somebody else that could have gotten that news. They would have been like, all right, fine, put him down.
Exactly. And Angela was never going to go to the vet with Jingles and come home without him. It was never going to happen.
Right.
So, we know animals really, really well. We're not vets, but we when we first got them, we did our research. We understand these dogs, and we knew what we had to do. And all of a sudden, he's bounced back because we had him on the special diet, prescription food, and we had him on bottled water. And then all of a sudden he started kind of coming back, and then he switched to normal food, and now he eats like 3 cans a day, and he's eating dry as well, because we put Shotzi's dry food down, and then he'll sneak in the kitchen and eat the rest of hers. Like, son of a bitch. So now he's eating everything, and he's eating.
You say that like it's an insult, but to me it's a perfectly natural thing.
Yeah. But yeah, it's looking much, much better. He's eating his milk bones again. He seems very, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we'll get him tested again, and I'll update about him. But it sounds to me it's like Jingles is doing much better. So
if you still have that prescription diet food, continue to feed him, because it could be that it's working. It could be that that it's working. Just in case.
Hopefully I won't need to buy more, because that shit is expensive. It's like $70 for a case. Yeah. And that's no joke, but it's high in moisture. It's high moisture food that's very low in protein. It's very easy to digest.
So help him from building up stones and shit. Yeah.
And to help with the uremia, because the one thing you were scared of is uremia. It's like, if you ever smell your dog's breath and the dog's breath smells like urea, smells like ammonia, then that's one of the signs. If he ever has pain in his back where his kidneys are, that's one way you can tell.
Yep.
Lethargy, disinterest in pretty much everything. So, but I think whatever it was, it's looking like it was temporary, and it looks like he's bouncing back just fine. So, more news as it comes along. But it's looking really good.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely would like Johnny said, make sure that you feed him all the food that the doctor did prescribe, because it's just like with humans, like every case of strep, for instance, is untreated strep, even though it goes away, because once somebody feels better, they stop taking all their medicine.
Right.
You need to take it all, because, just to make sure.
Well, if it turns out it was temporary, if it was something that he ate and it really, really messed him up, and now that I've cleared out all the brush in the backyard, he can't get to it anymore. If it was something like that, then the vet was very much like, if you can get him to eat, just get him to eat. The special medicated food is for his kidneys, and as long as he's eating, that's a good thing. It doesn't, as long as you're feeding him, when you feed him and he wants to eat, or if he says, "Hey, I'm hungry, I want to eat," that's what you want to look for. That's the improvement you want. And now it's pretty much he'll eat whatever, and I think because he's not getting the medicated food now because he went through the first case of it. That's already gone. I had to get more food in because I ordered the prescription stuff, and it's got to be, when you order that through Chewy, they'll call the vet to make sure that to verify the prescription, they got to call them. It's got to verify. And apparently where we are, it takes forever for this stuff to get here. So, but
it's because they can't find you.
Where did you guys move to?
Exactly.
Middle of nowhere.
What state did you stay in Texas or did you move?
Oh, I moved out. We're up here in North Oklahoma.
All right, cool. Trying to get closer to me. I see how it is. That's cool.
So I'm not that far. I'm actually, I think I'm a few hours away from Missouri. I'm not sure. I haven't looked up into it, but we're not that far from Kansas. I can tell you that. So, but yeah, so good news on the jingles front. Good news on my dog front.
That's awesome.
And everything is good. Tiny Captain, as long as dog eats homework, every teenager will love the dog. But to be real, I'm very happy. Oh, thank you, Tiny Captain. And Tukas SIE, good to see you. Let me see here. But he's sorry to derail on that one. But yeah, it was good. Oh, and I see Dark Steve is up in the house. Another got all of I think a bunch of the amazing patrons of Week in Horror are in the house. So awesome. And I hope you guys enjoy the next episode of Week in Horror. We have our special guests on. We're doing it early this month. So I can't wait for you guys to see them on the show. And of course, don't forget the box that we have not revealed. I have not revealed the content of that. We'll be giving that away. I'll reveal it on the stream. That's our trivia prize. And then of course, don't forget Friday the 13th. This Friday the 13th marathon starting at noon in the Discord channel all day long. All the Jason you can handle. So I hope to see you guys there as well. So a little update there.
Cool.
Am I on this week? I'm on this week, right?
You are on this week, yes. Let's see. Oh, this is interesting. So back to the Tukas SIE is Otangelo, by the way. Thank you, Fred Knotts, for cluing me in because I was away for a moment. So Tukas SIE is actually Otangelo. So he snuck into my stream again.
Are we sure that's Otangelo?
Are we sure it's Otangelo? Let me see what Tukas. Tukas says this. Naturalism cannot ground 1, existence itself, 2, uniformity in nature, 3, logic, 4, the value of human life, 5, moral values, 6, sound reasoning, 7, intelligibility, 8, consciousness. Yes, it can. And I will actually go down that list. Let me see what we got here. Naturalism cannot ground existence itself. Yes, it can. It only cannot ground existence if existence has an agential purpose. If existence has no agential purpose.
Sorry, but Tukas says, yes, I said in the beginning I am Otangelo. So we are sure. We are sure.
No problem. So naturalism cannot ground existence. Yes, it can. Naturalism can ground existence if existence is a result of natural process. This is the direction that life takes on this particular planet, in this particular area of the galaxy or the cosmos. So yes, what you're saying it is because you presuppose that existence in and of itself has a purpose or was given some sort of agential purpose for being here. But we don't assume that. We don't presume that it does have it. So yes, existence is grounded in naturalism. Uniformity in nature, that's a problem. Nature is not uniform. Nature changes. Nature changes constantly. It just changes at too slow of a rate to really affect us here on Earth because we live such short lifespans. But yes, nature does change. It changes that's what it constantly is doing through the universe. But the timescales are different. It's locally uniform to us because our lifespans are so short. Okay? So that's the problem there. So naturalism does explain that. Now, so there is no uniformity of nature. It's an illusion. It's locally uniform. Logic. It does because logic is a means of looking at logic is, in essence, what you need in order to reason and rationale, but logic is a process, and logic is a process that we use, that human beings use, or say intelligent agents use, like we're the only example of this. We are grounded in naturalism. Naturalism explains human beings. Human beings explain logic. So yes, it is grounded in naturalism. The value of human life. You assume that it has value, that there is inherent value to human life. And no, values are totally subjective. People value different things differently, okay? Like, you see that cat that is sitting in Alien X's lap right now? He values that cat more than he values my dogs. I value my dogs more than I value that cat. That's simply by virtue that those are my pets. That is his pet. Okay? If you had to make a choice between my wife and your wife, You would choose your wife. I would choose mine. It is because values, the values we put into things, are totally subjective, are completely and totally subjective. And those values are subjective across the board to everybody. So there you go. That's why, and it's pretty much, I'm surprised you don't understand this, because you value Christianity more than you value Islam. Okay? And they value Islam, Muslims value Islam more than they value Christianity. That's subjective. So there is no inherent value to human life. Moral values are also subjective. Those are also rooted in naturalism, because naturalism gave way to evolutionary game theory. Evolutionary game theory is how we derive the arbitrary rules we put down to ensure our long-term survival. So they're still subjective to the culture or to the society that invokes them or imposes them, but they're still there. But it's as a result of the objective desire of the objective goal, the goal to survive. Okay, and sound reasoning. Who says reasoning is sound? Reasoning is sometimes sound. Reasoning is sometimes not sound. That's also subjective to the individual. A lot of subjective things here. And all of these you say because you presuppose a God. You presuppose an entity that gives an objective value or an absolute frame of reference to the universe. And you have no evidence to support this. This is all supposition on your behalf. Intelligibility. Intelligibility just means understanding, the ability to understand things. Human beings can understand things. That's it. What's the level of understanding? Human level of understanding. There are also other levels of understanding. Other species can understand things. They're intelligible to different degrees. Depends upon the species. And consciousness. Consciousness is explained by naturalism. Consciousness is a emergent property of the brain. And the brain is explained by naturalism. So there you go. Done. That's your 8 knockdown. What else we got here? Let's see. So it is a Tangelo. Okay, so thank you, Fred Knotts. I didn't catch that because I stepped away. He just finished on Heretical's channel. Oh, okay, cool. So he came in here to bug us. Let me see here. I can get that off the screen now. That doesn't need that. So we can take that off. So what do you think? Do you think I summed it up, Alien? Did I?
That was pretty decent explanations for all the points.
Cool. Okay. I think I handled it. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah.
But yeah, you were very, very correct with the point of where we value things differently as individuals than we do as kind of like a species. You know what I mean? It's like exactly like you said. My cats are way more important to me than your dog is important to me.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just by virtue of
right.
The dogs are in my life, the cat is in your life. I mean,
exactly. It's more so like the shit. I forgot what the word I wanted to use, but it's yeah, exactly that. Like, I mean, your life and your dog doesn't affect me, whereas my shit doesn't affect you.
But that cat is sure affecting that chair over there.
Well. That chair is,
I saw the cat just jump up there.
Yeah, I have 5 cats though, so it's fucking crazy. Don't ever have 5 cats. No.
Let's see here. Inquisitor Bacon. I have 2 German Shepherds. That's over 200 pounds of dog.
I grew up with Shepherds. Like I had all black Shepherds. I've had the common brown and black ones.
Nice.
Or black and tan, whatever you want to call them. But I never had the purebred version, but everything, here it's been watered down through the generations, obviously, which is why they have all these problems and hip problems and all sorts of crazy stuff. So when you said like your dog was acting really weird and he had, like a minor, like acute kidney failure, like what was going through my head was, what the hell did he eat?
Exactly.
Since it's getting better, but yeah, you already explained all that stuff. So, I mean, that's awesome that you cleared all that shit.
Let me see. Let me see here. Blah, blah, blah. Daryl M says, don't really want to hear this religious crap every week because this fool starts posting. Agreed. It's almost like an invitation for a Tangelo to come in and start running his mouth. So let me see here real fast. Someone said, Charlie Wells said, Jingles' poop is more interesting than Otangelo. This is true. And at least there's an objective standard to Jingles' poop. Or at least there, we hope that there is.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
Very nice. And Monkey in the Works. Monkey in the Works, good to see you, says, it's Otangelo. We'll be going Godwin soon. Remember, mods, you have power out there in the live chat. if he says something or if he pops off in a way, just do what you did last time and shut that shit down Negan style. Okay? Take the barbed wire bat and put an end to it. Okay? Set an example. I don't care how many fucking ults he makes, shut that shit down. And African Humanist is in the house. Good to see you, African Humanist. Let me see here. And Peter Flenberg, good to see you.
I can't put shit up on the screen. Oh, that sucks.
Oh, unfortunately, no. I control I control the vertical and the horizontal.
It's StreamYard. JL is God. No. Oh my God.
Oh, thank you, Peter Flenberg. Says, unlike certain people, you're very good off script. Great job. I appreciate that. Thank you. It takes a lot of work, a lot of study to get to get it down. And I was always terrified of going into this, not knowing something. But I had to bite the bullet because and Johnny helped me with this. Is like you can't go in assuming that you know everything. You can't go in assuming you have an answer for everything. Just go in confident with what you do know and be prepared to learn because you never know who you're talking to. You could learn from everybody.
Yep.
And I have learned. I've learned. Claire has taught me many things about looking at it from the Christian perspective. And that I've taken hard. Xerxes has taught me much. Darth Dawkins taught me how not to be a total asshole. There you go. It's amazing what they can teach you.
Yep.
Well, and I hope everybody picked up the subliminals, the little subliminal images that I put in my previous video. So, Johnny, did you see them? Okay, you did. Okay, so
yeah, I saw them. No, I spent a lot of time working on your video. I wanted to make it nice and pretty. JL, so pretty. Damn it! Look. And I'm gonna shake the finger at you.
What I do?
Lighting, man. You're killing me with the lighting.
Could you see me just fine?
No, because there was a gigantic blown out
there
spot.
Was not.
Yes, there was.
I watched that video
you know why? Times. You know why it's not there in your final product? You're welcome.
That's why I have you.
There you go. There's lighting for you.
I'm telling
that's why I have you, dude.
Lighting jail.
That's why I have you.
I'm trying to make you look as sexy as possible.
And I need all the help I can get when it comes to
so do I.
I need all the help I can get.
So do I,
team. This is a team that makes it look like this.
Here's the thing. And my wife brought this to my attention. She as I was working on your video, she says, "Man, JL's got so much. He's got a lot of nice stuff on his walls. It's really interesting, but we can't really see it because of the way that the glare was hitting your Christine poster, and it's doing it now, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't as bad as it was, but it was really blown out, and it was distracting. It was taking away from you, and then you had like you do now. You have this blown out spot here. You know what I mean? Again, it's a little bit different for
fucking window right here, man.
Yeah, I know. There's a window there, but there are ways to control natural lighting, and you know this. Yeah,
I'm aware. I'm very much aware.
I just want you to be 3-point lit, so whenever I edit your video, it looks super good.
Well, I appreciate that.
I want people to see that cool shit you have in the background. That's why I think a couple of cool like mood lighting, some maybe LED strips, kind of because you have that little what is it called there? That it's not a chair rail. You know what I'm talking about? That little golly, it's right underneath your two big posters there, underneath Christine and
I have all the autograph section.
No. Well, no, you have this white, the little shelf, that little white shelf.
That little windowsill.
Right.
The windowsill,
right. Yeah. So you could like put a little bit of I don't know, some small lighting there to kind of accent what you have going through the posters and whatnot. I just think
like an LED strip or something like
that. I think because you have a lot of cool stuff going on in the background, a couple little small soft spots here and there just to kind of illuminate them, and then turn off all the other lights, and then 3-point light yourself with the halo light. And
I'm thinking about doing to this window what I did to that window, because there's behind those two posters, behind Big Trouble in Christine is a window. Right. And if I took those two posters down, you would see how absolutely ghetto it looks, because I basically taped a shit ton of cardboard up there that I blocked. And then it was like, I need to do this now. I need to get set up. So I was like, screw it. I'm taking cardboard and I just like
it works though, right? You can't
yeah.
tell here, so that it works. But I mean, do you have the blinds on the? You have blinds on your windows. You could just close them.
I do. I have. I mean,
oh, it's worse. Gosh.
Yeah, the blinds are down currently.
Fucking hell. Cardboard that shit up.
Yeah, I'm thinking I may have to do it if I'm going to stream.
Pick up your house and just kind of
just turn it a little bit.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And
let's see. You should be pier and beam, right?
No. This is a foundation.
Oh wow, you got slab.
Yeah, I got slab now. I had pier and beam. Now I have slab.
Right.
It'll be like Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Have a good one. Have a good one, Dark Steve. Have a good night. He's bouncing out. Oh, Clive Wells is in the house. Dr. Clive Wells. My wife actually got the better of the two rooms. She actually took the one next door, which is her office, where she'll be doing her work and she'll be doing her trading, and she'll be doing. Hopefully, she'll eventually be doing her YouTube channel as well. But the air conditioner is literally right outside the window, and so when the air conditioner is running, you can't block it out. And it's just, I mean, I didn't see a way to do it, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and take this one, and I'll just deal with the light. That way, I'm not having to deal with the sound as well, because the sound in here is good.
It's good sound. I think you get a lot of natural reverb. It might be a little bit too much, just a wee bit, but I think if you put up some curtains, or if you were to put just a little bit of stuff here to kind of absorb some of that reverberation, it sounds really good. You do sound good.
I may have to, because there's a wall. There's a wall right here where I am. So I may, if I put it here, it could probably absorb it some here, just along the wall here. That way, it doesn't obstruct from what you're seeing here.
Right. You've got a lot of, because what you're getting is a lot of high bounce. So you can put some stuff up tall, up on ceiling wise. You can contour your ceiling a little bit to help break up that highs bounce, that real tinny sound bouncing around. If you put contoured ceiling stuff up there, that almost always kills that. And it doesn't. What's that?
Egg curtains.
Egg curtains work too. It's a good poor man's way of soundproofing.
Damn right.
Chris Durham, listening to this conversation, I understand why some people just don't go on camera. Lighting is hard. Yes, it is. Lighting is difficult.
It really is. I mean, I'd show you the lights that I have, and even here, this right here, because of this, I don't know how to turn off the Logitech Brio's automatic, because here, you know what I mean. Here, my hand is blown out, but I take my hand away. Now my face is blown out. Right. For some reason, I don't know what it is. I don't know what. There's a setting somewhere that I'm not finding, but whatever. But I'll kind of give you a little bit of here's a tour. So we've got
I was going to ask you to do that.
Big fucker here. This guy's huge. That's my Aperture 60X, my LS60X.
Sweet.
I've got a hair light that's not on right now. And then I've got this guy right here that works as a kicker light. So I use traditional 3-point lighting in all of my videos, and it's a pain in the ass to get set up. You know what I mean? Because tilting this main key light in a certain way changes where the shadows fall. It could be pleasing, it could be not pleasing. It really is a pain in the ass to light. I mean,
I'm pleased. I'm pleased.
Well, if you weren't pleased, you were just going to go please yourself. So
there you go. But no, it's
that's between
really
me and me, young man.
No, but no, you guys are right. It is very difficult to light. So
yeah. Oh, I see the Daryl.
Geometry says a snare drum with a bulb inside of it. No, that would be a timpani. That would be a timpani drum.
The basic trick now says, what are those blinds made of? Glass? You'd almost think so. But I get direct sun on that side of the house. It literally rises, and it's right there.
Yeah.
So let me see here. So I saw that Daryl M had to bounce out because too much religion talk, and I understand that. There's most likely there's a reason for that. I can explain it. It's like John Rapp says, "You may look best with all the lights off." That's what my wife says.
Well, as long as the things that are going on when the lights are off is going on, it doesn't matter what she says.
So, what the heck? Johnny O participated in a beauty quest of the bearded man. You win. I guess Otangelo thinks you're the prettiest of all the beardsmen.
That's the first time I've ever been called pretty. I feel pretty.
Oh, so pretty.
So I feel pretty and witty and gay. And I pity. Well, do it again. And
Copyright.
I pity.
Come on, copyright. No.
So the way it just kind of where the cards fell when it came with all four of us, is with the four beardsmen is we all have kind of the expert. I guess not the kind of expertise, the thing that we talk about the most, and PhD Tony, it's science. It's pretty much science is where he falls, and then Irish Demon is history. Is typically where he falls. He loves the history of pretty much everywhere it's at, the history of Australia, the history of Ireland. Yeah. He loves diving into the history of culture and the history of the people that live there. Johnny O is very, very much, music is a big thing for him, but he's also very big into pop culture and things that are currently going on, like current events. So like big things that are happening, like what is happening now is what Johnny O really digs on, is that what's currently going on, current movements, current trends. And religion is a big thing that I'm on. So these are the things that we talk about. These are kind of the areas that we specialize in. And so when the stream is on my channel, and it's not really by virtue of being on my channel, but when I'm the one of the other half that's going on, and it happens to be a slow news day, and there's not much happening, unfortunately, the topic may veer towards religion a bit because that's just where my forte is. I don't deal with anti-science idiots because science is, well, I love it and I enjoy it. I really more like watching science's ass as it walks by. That's what I enjoy. Okay. PhD
so
Tony.
You're the creeper. You're a science creeper.
PhD Tony enjoys the entire process. He enjoys starting with the science and building the science up. And then eventually he enjoys watching it watching the science as it walks by, enjoying checking out science as it walks by. But he likes the whole beginning, middle, and end. I just like watching his ass as it walks by. That's some sexy ass science. That's it. Because I don't need to know. I'm not interested in knowing where and who by my car was built. I don't need to know it to understand how to drive my car. It's not something that interests me. What does interest me is religion.
Don't you mean travel your car?
What does interest me is religion and its effects on our society, the effects on all society, the effects on us as human beings, where it came from, why it's here, why it's still here, why it persists. These are the things that interest me. Johnny will talk about the current trends, what's going on with our society, the decisions that are being made, what's going on politically, what's going on with religiously, the various things that are happening. These are the things that he will like to talk about, and he'll point them out so that people in society are aware of them, because these things, typically you won't see them on the front page of the news, because Johnny, unlike the vast majority of news sites out there, is not biased towards a particular side. He wants to look at all of it, especially the crazy shit. So that's why
the crazy.
That's why he's got the dingleberries thing going on. Yeah. Okay, that's what he handles. Tony is all about here's the science.
Whoa! I don't handle dingleberries. Okay.
Oh yeah. But
I point out the dingleberries for other people to handle.
Tony is all about giving us the beginning and the middle of the science we like to admire as it walks by. He's all about that because that shit he's interested. He loves that shit.
Well, that's what he does, right?
That's what he does for a living.
Scientist, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's his. Something about rocks and stuff, but whatever.
So I do apologize. That typically will be where it sits down. Alien Gaming is suspicious of people who don't care about their cars. JL, says Chris Durham.
Well, that's why when you said that earlier, you're like, I don't care who made my car and all that other shit. And I'm like, oh, well.
I don't care where it was built or who made it. I just give a fuck. Does it get me from point A to point B?
Well, see, but you gotta care, because if it's a German-built car, that's just going to be stupid expensive to fix.
That's true.
Too. But also with muscle cars and stuff like that, if you can't understand what you're driving, you will kill yourself.
Yeah.
Charlie Will says, you sexy ass science shaking that ass. just clap it on by, science. Just clap it on by.
Jeez.
It's terrible.
Let's see. Daryl says, I have no problem. You feel studying religion, but having watched this idiot spams comments is getting too much. I like interacting with people in chat, and it's just being hijacked by an idiot. This is true.
We love you, Daryl. Just saying.
No, I totally agree with Daryl M, and I get why it's frustrating. I absolutely do, and I agree. I'm a big proponent of the First Amendment, and one of the things about being the First Amendment is willing to fight for your right to say something means that you should also be willing to fight for someone else's right to say something that you would vehemently deny.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things. And while I will stand up against Otangelo and his bullshit all day long, the minute he crosses the line, he will be out. Just like he was last time. Last time, he trolled up to a point where he eventually crossed the line, and we just started booting all of his alts. Now he's created another alt so he can come in here and run his mouth. The moment he does it, the mods will be on it, and they will shut him down. And I know it's obnoxious. I just can't, in all good conscience, shut somebody down just because I don't like what they're saying. Now, if they break the rules and they go into Godwin's law, or they make ridiculous comments like he did last time, we will shut that shit down. I demand it. But all in all, it can be ignored. Fred Knott says jail warrant being a proponent of the First Amendment doesn't mean you have to listen to what you don't like. Agreed. This is also true, but this is also why the mods are there. And if the mods feel like he's crossed a line, then so be it. The way I look at it here, is that Otangelo will hang himself with his own rope. So that's what he's doing. He is putting his idiocy, his bad argumentation, and his dishonesty on display. No one will listen to him, and eventually he will go away. He'll go bother somebody else because he'll get a rise out of people there. Because he knows that if he pushes it to a particular point, we'll just ban him. Because there's some stuff that will not be acceptable on my channel, Johnny's channel, Irish PhD, or Irish Tony's. We will not accept this shit. We will shut it down. So he's not free. Yes, Inquisitor Bacon is correct. He's allowed to say whatever he wants, but he is not free from the consequences of that speech. You are goddamn right. He is not free of those consequences.
Neil Badger, is that a quote from a movie? Because that sounds really, really familiar. I will fight for the right to say what you wish. However, I reserve the right to disagree with you.
Yeah.
Wasn't that in a movie?
I don't know, but it sounds familiar.
It doesn't.
But very true. Very true.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Absolutely. Both of you guys are absolutely correct.
Stevie B. I don't have the First Amendment here, so it does not count. So boot him, LOL. That's funny. Alien, this is for you, Alien. It looks like Yoda on Johnny's shirt is wearing a gray wig.
That's not Yoda.
Oh, it's Grogu.
It's Grogu.
You know, all right.
Let's see. Sir Little Wolf says, he crosses the line, I'll be on him like me on a lady's leg.
Oh, Jesus.
For Daryl, it says, First Amendment in Australia says, say what you want, but don't piss me off.
I like what Chris Durham says. He's conjuring his inner Beastie Boy.
Yes. I'll fight for my right to party.
That was immediately what popped in my head when I read that. I was like,
damn right.
That's such a
and I know that go ahead, Johnny.
I was gonna say it's such a easy, basic song, but it's so good.
No.
You're not a Beastie Boy. You like Beastie Boys?
Amazing.
I will say some words right now that nobody's gonna like me afterwards.
No, I mean you don't have just because I like him doesn't mean you have to like him.
No, that's perfectly fine.
Intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic.
Go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say.
I don't like.
I like.
I'm out. No, I'm So
did you do that? I want to hear what he has to say.
No, I'm sorry, Ellie. I was fine. It's like I'm going to say something he doesn't like, so I just muted. Now go ahead. Say what you want to say.
So there's so many different music like styles that I dislike. It's really weird. As a metal drummer, I was not a fan of Metallica, anything past Load.
You just trying to get kicked off my fucking channel, ain't you?
I know. Sorry. Pantera, I can only handle a couple of songs. I hate Slayer.
Wait a minute. How are you going to say? Wait a second. I have to challenge that real quick. You got to talk about
Here we
You're
go.
gonna sit there. You're gonna sit there saying that as a metal drummer, I can't stand Dave Lombardo. Are you fucking kidding me?
No. Okay. So there's certain aspects to music that I enjoy the music. Like musically, Slayer, Metallica, Pantera, excellent. Okay, but there's something about them that bugs the shit out of me. With Slayer, it's the guy's voice. Okay,
I'm not a big fan of Tom Ayala. Yeah, I can understand that. I can get behind that.
It's like Dream Theater, one of the most like methodical, awesome fucking players in the world. Their singer I can only handle for a good 10 minutes. After that, I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. But musically, excellent.
Right.
You know, and like, but back in the day when I was playing for the band, like I listened to Tupac, fucking Bone Thugs and Harmony, and like Insane
Bone,
Clown
bone,
Posse.
bone, bone.
Like it was so weird. Like, oh, dude, did you hear that new Pantera song? I'm like, no. You know, they're like, how the hell do you play metal and not listen to metal? I'm like, I don't know. You know, but it was just weird. But Beastie Boys,
You know, there's a
Red Hot
really
Chili
good
Peppers.
answer. There's a really good answer to that question. When people say, "How can you like metal but not listen to metal?" Just say Tosin Abasi, and then walk away.
I don't even know what that is.
What was that?
Animals
what was
as leaders.
There was what was that one?
my
What was that one
God.
comic? There was a comic strip I saw.
Send me a link.
It was a comic strip I saw where this guy was opening up his bag, and it has like the bread logo on the bag. And he opens it up, and a fist comes out and punches him in the face. He's like, "What?" And he looks at the bag, and it's Pantera bread.
Nice. That's awesome.
All right, hang on. I'm gonna send you some Animals as leaders.
All right. There are a lot of metal bands that I think are just amazing, like Killswitch and Cage. I like old school Testament.
Well, you like original Killswitch or
both?
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Well,
Because there's two
they're-
different singers. There's two different
Yes.
singers.
Yeah, but the
And,
original singer's back. Jesse's back.
Yes,
He's
Jesse's
been back
back.
for
Yeah.
quite some time now.
And then the Signal Fire that they played out last year, or whatever, with Howard and Jesse, that was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Very short, but it was amazing.
I happen to like Killswitch as well. I
Hell
just
yeah.
kind of dig this stuff. It did, and I found them because of Guitar Hero.
Nice.
But I'm eclectic. The only thing I don't like, and I mean, no, it's so cliche to say, but the only thing I don't like is country western. I don't, and
It really depends on the country
Opeth.
western artist.
yeah.
Opeth, oh man, yeah, get me down some Opeth. One of the greatest shows I've ever seen was Opeth and In Flames at the Gas Monkey Live. That shit was fucking on fire. It was it was so good.
In Flames and Soil Work were two of my favorites when I was younger too, though.
Morning, Robert
guys were
Caslow.
Swedish,
Good to see you.
right?
Let's see. There you are, Alien. Here you go. Here's your link to the very first song that I heard by Animals as Leaders, and that got me hooked. Then I started listening to their whole discography. If you want to talk about, and Chris Durham, this is for you too. If you want to talk about someone who blends so many different genres into one style of music, Animals as Leaders and Tosin Abasi are the guys to look at. Virtuosity, guy is, I mean, he is second to none. People talk about Steve Vai and Petrucci and Eric Johnson, all these guys. He is in that class. He is in that league where you have people that do things that have never been done before, or at least never been done the way that it's being done now. But that he's one of these guys. Chris, you probably are familiar with him, watching Rick Beato a lot because he's been on Rick Beato's show a couple of times talking about some of the new techniques that he's pioneered. Yeah, man, that guy is just a bad mamma jamma. He's the kind of guy that no matter how good you are, you will never be as good as Tosin Abasi. Never. I don't care who you are.
We actually got some interesting insight into Otangelo. Otangelo says, I like Snarky Puppy and Joey Negro in the Sunburst Band. And I had to look them up because I was not familiar with these. And of course you would like them, Otangelo. Of course you would. If you don't know who those bands are, feel free to look them up because I didn't know who they were. I looked them up, and yes, it totally fits. It absolutely fits. It does.
All right, John Rapp, we'll see you.
Take it easy, John Rapp. Captain Welsh's in the house.
Yes, Joe Satriani. He's in that group as well, Captain Welshie.
Old school Sepultura with the Cavalera brothers.
They're in. They actually reconciled. They're not in Sepultura anymore. Well, Igor is, but they both are doing the Cavalera Conspiracy. So they're playing back. They've been playing together for a while.
I like when it comes to I don't consider it to be country. I like bluegrass, and I like
Kentucky.
I like Kentucky bluegrass. I like the effect of the South. So I like Charlie Daniels Band. I like David Allan Coe. I like Merle Haggard. I don't because there's country influence there, and there's bluegrass influence there, and it goes into rock. So but I like that rock influence, and I like Johnny Cash, but just like Travis Tritt, Garth Brooks. I mean, I think the closest I ever came was when I first moved to Texas, and I was trying to assimilate, being from California. I was trying to assimilate in Texas culture. I think the closest I got was Brooks and Dunn. And I was trying to listen to stuff like that, and I just could not. And then I couldn't, and that's when I completely I was like, oh, I think I'll try to give a listen. Nope, and I snapped back and fell so hard into Metallica that I will defend every one of their albums to the death.
So when I met my wife, she was
just even Saint Anger. I will defend it.
I will. Okay. All right. I got two things to say. One of them is about Saint Anger. We'll come back to that in a second. But when I met my wife, she was huge into Kenny Chesney and all this shit. And
I can't see your wife listening to Kenny Chesney. I just can't do it.
I didn't think it was going to work. I was like, you're hot and all, but
he gave her the "we need to talk" speech before.
She thinks my tractor is sexy. That's like your jam. Are you fucking kidding me? Let me introduce you to some real music. Let me introduce you to some shit then luckily she hasn't bombarded me with that country western bullshit. She's a huge Opeth fan. She's a huge In Flames fan now. But going back to Saint Anger, this is what I will say about Saint Anger.
Okay, because there's a lot of anger about Saint Anger. There's a lot of anger about Saint Anger.
Okay, there was just so many things that spelled doom for the way that record sounded.
Mm-hmm.
There was an argument between Kirk Hammett and Lars Ulrich about solos and not solos. So, Kirk Hammett, in retaliation, said he gets to choose a snare sound. This is all rumored to have happened. Where the snare sounds like ass. Realistically, what happened was this was an album that was recorded over the course of 4 years, but with a huge 18-month break in between the beginning and the end of the album. So they started recording this album at the Presidio in San Francisco. They lost the Presidio while James Hetfield was in rehab, but they didn't lose the tapes. They didn't lose the tapes, right? So they didn't lose the digital audio files, and they wanted to use that stuff so they didn't feel like they wasted it. And you can hear the differences, like when the album is playing, you can hear stuff that sounds sonically different because they're recorded at two different places at two different times. And then they were just trying to jam a bunch of stuff in there. And they wanted it to be like this, we want to sound more garage band, like we're just starting out. And I can respect all that, but the thing that kills people about Saint Anger is not necessarily the songs structure wise. It's the fact that it sounds like shit. The production is not where it used to. You have Bob Rock, who took Metallica from this 80s thrash metal band that were popular, mind you, and then produced what is generally considered the greatest metal album of all time. It's the Black Album, right? Yeah. It's still on the Billboard charts, top 500. It was on the top 100 for 15 years.
I thought it was almost 20 years.
Almost 20, yeah. Well, I think it just got bumped out of the top 100. It's gone platinum like 20 times or some shit like that. It's crazy. The number of records that people have to this day, there's still people that are buying the Black Album.
Arguably one of the greatest rock albums ever produced in music history.
And the thing about it, what really projected them was Bob Rock's production value, was the fact that they went and took so much meticulous effort into getting those drums sounding the way they sounded. They went out and bought all the plywood from a local hardware store, and they shellacked the entire room to get those big sounds so they could pull the room mics back and get that huge drum sound. And they were so meticulous about how they recorded the guitars. They were like some that are triple track, some that are quadruple track, all kinds of things that are going on underneath. The production was so amazing. And then you have Saint Anger, which was supposed to be a return to form from the break that they had when they were doing Load and Reload. Right. And anybody who says that Metallica didn't alter what they were doing for Load and Reload doesn't really know what they're talking about, because they did. And that's fine. It's cool to experiment. And even they
Load, Reload, and S&M were brilliant. And I loved it. I love shaking up the paradigm. It showed that it, in essence, that Metallica is not one note. They're not one dimensional. These guys can go in different directions and still produce a platinum album. And I love Load and Reload. I love S&M. You know, I mean, heck, Black isn't even my favorite Metallica album. Puppets is. So,
well, yeah, that's most everybody. But you've got all this huge production value that kind of continued even through Load and Reload. They were still produced very well. But then you get into Saint Anger, and here it is. It's like all that stuff we talked about production. We're just gonna throw it out the window. We're gonna record, and we're gonna make it. Just hearing those songs live, they sound a million times better, more energy. There's more, I don't know, maybe it's just the live atmosphere, but they sound so much better. So there you go.
Oh, instead of typing this out, I'm just going to say it. We have obviously everybody in the chat is talking about the bands that they love, and there's so many I couldn't possibly read them all. But Clive Wells, you shut your mouth. Metallica should take some audio tips from Jam Truth Productions. you hush up that.
You know, they did though. They did with Death Magnetic, because I don't know if you remember when Death Magnetic first came out. It was so overcooked that when they compressed it down to MP3, it was just crap. It was more bad.
Jarl says, "I think JL and Johnny might be Metallica groupies. We are, and we would be roadies if we could. We would be roadies if we had the chance.
You think?
What was it?
Maybe just a little bit.
Johnny, what was it? Big Lebowski? Yeah, moved around a little bit. Roadied for Metallica.
Yeah.
Bunch of assholes. But someone said,
I've got my picture with them up there. So I was behind this monitor. You can't see.
Daryl M. Can we go back to talking about religion now?
Metallica is a religion to some people.
And someone said here, where was it? Okay, Sir Little Wolf said, Jars of Clay is good. I think they have one good song. Was the one that got radio play. Skillet is awesome. Agreed. Rebecca St. James, legend. Okay, I am actually a Skillet fan, but I did not know at first, because I didn't dive into it. I did not know that Skillet is a Christian band. I did not know this. And when I found out, I was like, aw.
JL is a theist, confirmed.
And I was so bummed. I was actually bummed when I found out that Skillet was a Christian band. But then I realized, and then once you know this, and then you hear their songs, you listen to the lyrics, like, I see how they're like, they're singing to God. I can see how they're doing it now. But in my head canon, I just replace God with like my wife, and to make their songs listenable. I can hear the songs. I'm they're talking about God. They can talk about whatever they want. I envision my wife, so we're good to go. So it makes it listenable to me.
One of the funniest things I've ever seen was a Christian death metal band. Swear to God, so hilarious. We're there, and I'm supporting a buddy of mine's band they were not Christian death metal, but they were opening for a Christian death metal band, which whatever. And during this Christian death metal band set, you got the singer up there talking about, praise and all this and law, and, putting his hands up in the air and doing the antenna for Jesus. Now get in the death pit.
Send your money.
Like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
That's funny.
Is this your sacrifice? We're about to see sacrifice here? Is that what we're going on? But somebody asked me a question. Said, what bands have I been in? I've been in a few. First band I was ever in was called Texas Toast. It was I didn't name the band.
I'm hungry. All right.
Yeah, right. It was a
no. We look at you. We go. Of course you were.
It was like a biker band type thing. You play things like ZZ Top and Give Me 3 Steps. Oh, everyone's play some Skinner. Well, Skinner. God damn it. Fucking
Stairway.
Man, you get those assholes in the, you get them fucking drunk and they'll just yell anything. But we had this one guy, yeah, right. So we had this one guy yelling Skinner like fucking nonstop. We'd play a song and then we'd stop playing song, tune up, whatever, and Skinner. It's like fucking hell. Finally, the other guitar player got in the mic and says, "Dude, you put $100 bill in that tip jar. We'll play whatever you want." Thinking that would shut him up. This motherfucker walked up with 3 $100 bills and says, "Boom."
Skinner.
Then he yells Skinner.
He just walks up, slams the money down. Skinner.
So
the only word in his vocabulary.
Yeah, he's like Tim A, except Skinner. So we ended up playing like
Skinner.
Yeah. We played like 2 sets of nothing but Skinner tunes, and the only Skinner tunes we knew were "Give Me 3 Steps," "Freebird," "Sweet Home Alabama." Now, if there was one more, I can't remember.
Okay, Simple Man. I know you guys know.
Simple Simple Man.
Okay,
awesome.
That's a simple song.
Oh my God, who the fuck ripped ass?
One of your cats.
Oh, God.
I have to admit, this is kind of a side thing regarding Skinner. Obviously, like there's the I think it's the unspoken rule of no stairway. And started by Wayne's World, so you don't go into a guitar center and start busting out Stairway. They'll hear it, and then they'll stop you. I've seen videos of this happening, of people going into the guitar centers, and because you can play the guitar, just bring up the guitar, and just they'll get like 3 chords in, and they're like, nope, stop.
It's like a running joke.
It's a running gag. So
I used to work at a guitar center, and people come there all the time trying playing that shit, and we just ignore them. You know what I mean?
And what I like are the videos of people coming in and trying to be sneaky about it. They'll come I saw this one video. The guy came in and he actually picked up the guitar and he like dropped down behind a counter. I was like, and then just like played it really softly. and he's constantly looking around like, is there something gonna stop me? So I do like that. Those are entertaining as hell.
Yep. So let's see here. After Texas Toast, I was in a band called KS9. We were called Killswitch, but then we realized that so was everybody fucking else. Everybody else was called Killswitch, so we said KS9. And then after KS9, I took a break, did a couple of little jams, acoustic stuff here or there, and then I started another band called Enemy Within, or The Enemy Within. I was in that band for the longest time, and that one broke up. Well, it split for a while, and I kept it going, and then released an album in 2014 as The Enemy Within. And then now I'm in a band called Invasion It, and you can get on Bandcamp.com, or is it invasionit.bandcamp.com or Bandcamp? Whatever. So anyway, and find our newest record that has just been released. If you want to buy one, you should do it. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
It's on vinyl too, which is amazing. I love,
Robert Castle says Johnny is into Lawrence Welk.
That got jams.
Dude, he fucking thrashes. Oh.
Listen to that shit backwards. It sounds like garbage.
I'm sorry. The Ozman was always straightforward with his messages.
Boston rocks.
Yeah, Boston's fucking awesome. Or was it? Well, no, it was Chicago.
Oh, that's right. It was
Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago. It's like Chicago. It was like, I love Chicago.
Yeah.
And then he runs that shit backwards. I command you to spread the blood of the innocent.
Yeah.
Man, Chicago fucking rocks. Let's see. No Ballad of Curtis Lowe.
Unfortunately not.
But yeah, going back to, I was, and it gets me because I really like Skillet. I would love their music, and I find them good. It's fun to listen to. I like air drumming when I'm in the guitar, air drumming when I'm in the car and I'm driving. Skillet comes on. I was bummed when I found that they were a Christian band, so I just changed it. So I just don't focus on I just like no. For me, it's like but I also love Breaking Benjamin. I'm a big fan because I'm a big fan of his vocals. I think that he's one of the best vocalists out there right now. He's up there at least in the top 10. I like what he's able to pull off, and I like his songs. And but I'm pretty eclectic in what I listen to. I just don't like new country. I don't like just country western. I'm just not big into it. So I prefer to play it backwards. Then you get your wife back, your dog back, your truck back, your house back, your job back.
Mm-hmm. No, it's your wife becomes your sister again.
Oh, ouch. And Kevin Paul has words of wisdom for Alien X.
Yep.
You suck. I mean, I love you.
That's awesome.
Oh man, Johnny S says Bastrix says band name in chat. Did you put it in there?
I did.
Oh, Invasion It. Cool.
Yep.
Awesome.
Music. Sorry, real quick, Johnny. Did you like how high up in the ranks did you guys any of your bands make it? Like national act at all or no?
We never got national recognition. We'd had radio play with KS9 from Denton all the way to Colorado. Invasion It is probably as close to as national as I've ever been because of the connections. The singer, he's got connections with Sony Records and all that stuff. We got some people looking at it, talking about it. Hopefully something cool comes from it. If not, it's not a big deal. But
did you ever get up on stage and be like, chicken wire? Come on, you know that reference. Come on.
I generally stayed away from the chicken wire stage.
But you know what I'm referencing, right?
Airheads.
No. Blues Brothers.
Fucking hell.
They get up on stage and they're like ready set up, and then the friggin' rhythm guitar is like chicken wire. It's like chicken wire blocking the stage. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Thank you, Captain Welshie. Captain Welshie is on it.
Yep.
Oh, Tangelo, that sentence makes no sense.
Yeah, I read that like 5 times because every time I turn my camera off, I'm doing something. But
well, I mean, technically, he's right. There's no God, there'd be no atheists, but there'd be no theists either.
Yeah, that's true. I'm surprised you didn't just say if there was no God, there would be no people.
Yeah, I was like, if there was no, if it, yes, Clover Mom, Rawhide. That's how that's the song they use to turn the crowd in their favor.
Rawhide. Anyway, let's see.
The good old Chitlin circuit.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out your shit, your music. There.
Did you just say my music is shit? Dang.
No, he said.
No, I'll say that after.
I'll say it after I listen to it.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's cool, man.
Clover Mom. If there was no God, there would be no God. Fair point. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We wouldn't have to worry about it. Oh, I'm glad. My newest video that I dropped is doing rather well. I have to admit.
Yeah. How's it? What are you up to right now?
Let me see if I go to. I have to go to studio, right?
Yeah, 1 million views.
No, I have not gone viral.
Oh.
I have not gone viral. But let me see. Buy the Book Mysteries. Content.
Has he been in your comments?
He has not shown up in the comments yet.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah. Not too bad. It's been out. I don't know what the analytics are on this particular one. Analytics. I might click on analytics. That might help.
You might have to wait until wait 48 hours to usually get better analytics.
Oh yeah, it's not up there. It's nothing up there yet. So cool. All right. So we'll find out. But hopefully soon, and I have no idea how long it'll take. So I'm 109 hours away.
Yeah, you should be good. With as many people as been staying on today, you should be fine at the end of this.
Fingers crossed. So hopefully I'll get in there, and I plan on doing a live stream, like a personal live stream, once I'm past it. I'm still a hair past 1,000, so I'm good to go. And then once it's ready to go in the community. We could really jump in there. I will go live and actually do kind of like 1,000 deal, and then I'll bring people on and we'll talk about. Well, we'll pretty much talk about it. It may unfortunately be a lot of religion. It may be a lot of that or horror movies because I talk about that too. So because I have this whole show that we've been making for almost 3 years.
Yeah.
So
it has been. Golly, well. 2 years, almost 2 years, going on year 3.
Going on year 3, yeah. When we start, it'll be 3 years when we start. Not a full 3 complete years. We're going into the 3rd year.
That's what I'm saying. It'll be we're starting with the 3rd year in September. Yeah,
right. And so, and episode 100 is on the 18th of this month. Is our official 100th episode of Week in Horror. And then of course in September. is, when is it? Our official season finale is September
Next week,
15th.
isn't it?
September 15th.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The season finale.
This is. Well, I'm telling you, this past few weeks have been so jacked up. Like the other day, you were talking about, hey, who's on the Beardsmen? Like, JL, it's only Friday. Oh yeah, me. I'm like,
I was a day out. I don't know.
I'm like a month ahead. I keep thinking we're in September, and we're not. I keep having to look because I looked at something and said, hey, you got a shipment that'll be there August 21st. I'm like, should have fucking been here already. And then I look down and say, oh wait, no, it's not for another 3 weeks.
I appreciate that, Daryl M. I really, really do. That's awesome. And yeah, all of my videos should be in their respective playlists. If I go to my channel, it should be. If I do this one, save the playlist should be in for Beardsmen. And then this one should be already in, Bridge the Divide. And this one should be in for, So I try to stay on top of that and set the playlist right as I make them. And I got to put the new one, save the playlist is in, we'll put that in the shop thoughts because that's technically where that goes. So yeah, I try to set them up and make sure that they're good to go. Damn. Okay, and I think I got that copyright. I actually got it. Wasn't a copyright strike. It was
just a claim.
It was a claim. Because I mirrored. Did you get the claim on yours?
No, because I have epidemic sound. That's what I was telling you. If you just get, it's like I'll send you a referral link. I think you get like the first month free. You can check it out. As long as you're a member of Epidemic Sound, when the video comes out, you don't have to stay a member, right?
Okay.
So all the stuff that I've put out, because I was a member during that time, they can't claim it. They can try, but like, no, I was a member of Epidemic Sound, and then it'll go away. But yeah, so that's what I was telling you. Especially if you're going to do more videos. What? Yeah, if you do more videos, just get it. It's like $15.
Okay,
it's not bad.
So
you get a bunch of sounds and all kinds of tunes and whatnot. It's actually a really good investment for content creators.
Cool. Yeah, I just muted it. So it just, and the music is at the intro and the outro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're good. Yeah, because it was on a debate, so obviously music's not going to be playing while we're debating. So we got that taken care of. But that's my first one. That's my first copyright claim. That's pretty cool.
It's when you're not a real YouTuber until you have been hit with a false DMCA claim. So.
Okay, hit with a DMCA.
That's when somebody lies about their content appearing on your channel as a copyright violation, and they file a DMCA takedown request, and YouTube removes the content from your channel and hits you with a channel strike, content strike, or a copyright strike. Susan Bassey did that to me, and it's hilarious. It's hilarious, and I'm making a response video to the. I made a video on her Capitola Karen video. She got all butthurt because she didn't like the fact that I was challenging her stupid positions. So she got all butthurt and then hit me with that false claim. I submitted my counter claim, and it's been well over 10 days since she was supposed to respond, proving that she was taking me to court with a docket number. She's not taking me to court, but she did respond to YouTube telling them something, and we're waiting for YouTube to finish whatever. Alpha K91, your shirt is on the way. Anyway, so she made another video talking about searching for the Capitola Karen, where she goes back to the same beach, but encounters a lawyer who's telling her what she's doing is not, some things that's cool, but other things not so much. And then she basically she's looking for this lady who made whatever, who called the cops on her last time because Susan Bass was on a public beach filming, and this lady says, "Stop filming my kids," and whatever. Made a big stink, and yeah, she's back out there looking for her again. So I'm gonna make a response video because she complains about people abusing the legal system, and I have something to say about people being hypocrites.
Yep. Let's see who gave you. Okay, that was it. You were explaining that.
Yeah, Susan Bassey did. That's
Susan Bassey, crazy lady.
She is a fucking nut.
The only thing that I've ever gotten really aside from like actual copyrights, I was playing my music all right, from my band, and then YouTube algorithm picked it up as Flaw, which is also an awesome band. But they're like, yeah, this is copyrighted by Flaw. I'm like, no. My response is, this is me.
This is my music.
But
copyright claimed yourself.
But I was like, all right, cool. We sounded like Flaw. That's weird, but okay.
Morning, Alpha K91. Good to see you. All right. Well, getting to be damn.
You've been going on for 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah,
Good
it's
Lord.
getting there. It's getting about that time. Yeah. So, dang, 2 hours, 45 minutes, I think. And I love all of you in the live chat. Thank you all so much. And of course, we've said like steadily over 30 viewers this entire time. You guys are amazing. I'm quite certain after this kind of like YouTube does its rotation thing, I think I'm going to hit it. So, and then I'll officially have monetization on my channel. And I'll be looking forward to that because your guys' support is what enables me to do this. And of course, your guys' support is what enables me to do Week in Horror continuously and to make that into something. Big, huge news coming on the Week in Horror front. I cannot wait to share with you guys, with all of you as it comes down, because the more successful my personal channel is, the more successful Week in Horror is, the more successful Week in Horror is, the more successful everyone you listen to is. Eugene, Alex, Johnny, my wife, everybody who's involved in the production of that podcast. The more successful we are, the bigger names we can bring on the show. And I'm seriously looking forward to that when we can have people on like legit horror legends like Robert Englund and Kane Hodder and Tony Todd and people like that. We're getting to the point where we can start angling at having these individuals on, which is going to be amazing. So on and so. I mean, so that's how it's gonna go. And so I couldn't do it without you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. So. Even when people like Otangelo come in and try to disrupt my shit. That's just because everyone was expecting me to show up on the side chat. No one was expecting to show up on the side chat. No one's saying, in my side chat, no one's saying, gee, you know what the side chat needs? More Otangelo. No one says this. This is not a thing people say.
Man, I hope that guy shows up today.
I have to admit, I was thinking, I wonder if Otangelo is gonna show up today. And sorry, I guess I did it. It was my fault.
You brought that evil on us, Ricky Bobby.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's all good. I mean, as long as it doesn't get out of hand, it's all solid. But the fact that y'all have hung with me and you guys enjoy my videos is just badass. I love you guys. Love all of y'all. It's amazing. So before we bust out of here, let's go around the room. Alien X, you're kind of the special guest on the Beardsmen. So what do you got coming up, man? What's going on with you?
Nothing.
All right, Johnny. What do you
Oh, that's funny.
No, I kind of ran out of some responses and stuff like that. But and so I haven't been able to get anything scheduled for the last 2 months. But I don't know, everybody's busy, which is good. It's good to be busy, but everything's going to be kind of screwed up again because of what's happening with the old I don't know if you could say that word, but so we're
the DV. We'll call it the DV,
the DV.
Or we'll call it the lager lurgy. We'll have to call it the amber lurgy.
Oh Jesus! But with everybody being busy, I mean, it is what it is. So I mean,
the Otangelo. It's out there.
But other than that, man, I just been playing games. On Friday nights, I do have on my channel Quiplash and What the Dub, but we do a very adult oriented version of it. So there's a lot of profanity.
That means there's penises involved.
There might be a drawing of a penis that may show up on. But it's a lot of fun, and if I think that it gets too dark for YouTube, I kind of cut it off, and then we just continue in my Discord. So anybody that wants to get into any of that shit, it's just a super bunch of fun. Usually about 8 o'clock Central Friday nights. So
awesome.
Other than that, that's it.
They are fun. I stop by from time to time, had a good time with you guys. They're fun, especially when I win.
There's no sword fighting on cam, don't worry.
No, it's never on camera. It's always that noise you hear in the back, that That's yeah.
What's with all the mushroom bruises?
Oh, jeez.
Can't demonetize me yet, YouTube.
That's what I say all the time. Like, the fuck are we gonna do? Demonetize me?
Yeah, we're gonna do take the money you don't give me already.
I only got 300 subscribers, man.
Cool, awesome. Thank you, Alien and
Thanks
Johnny.
for having me on, man.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, man, always fun.
Johnny, what you got?
I have got that Susan Bassey video that I'm working on. That'll be next Friday's Dingleberries, which is going to be a little bit different than the Moorish soft sits that I've been tackling. I'm still working on some more of those as well. So I hope you guys like the Susan Bassey one. It's not as cool. It's kind of I think it's fun because she's a dumb bitch. But I got that coming out. And then
you got to say it like Natural Born Killers, man.
I thought I did.
No. It's like, oh man, you stupid bitch.
And then, of course, I got the news wrap up coming out tomorrow, which will be fun. Hopefully, I can get some more information on Kent Hovind, Dr. Dino, about his alleged beating of his spiritual wife. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Wow.
Awesome. Oh, and Otangelo says, JL intimidated my voice. I feel almost butthurt now. That's not the reason why you feel. That's not the reason why you feel butthurt.
Imitated.
That was a Darth Dawkins joke, by the way. Oh, 2 for the price of 1.
Stop docking on camera, sir. No.
Docking.
Oh God! That cannot be unseen in jail.
Oh God! God damn it!
I do have to say that with Jeff Bezos' recent exploration into space, that gives the whole space dock a new meaning.
Very nice.
Because he's flying a giant cock.
Because it's a penis. That's when you slide out of frame and you come in. Because it's a penis. And I can't wait to give her the hammer.
Oh, Jesus.
The hammer is my penis. Yeah, I got that. Oh man. Oh, so yeah, awesome stuff coming on both y'all's guys' fronts. I guess we'll see more from Irish when we get a chance, and hopefully Tony is feeling better soon.
Yep.
We'll get some more out of him. For myself, I'm still working on the big series that I want to make sure the thing is good and it's solid. And of course, I'm gonna have multiple people helping me out with that, recording stuff. And putting it in there, it's a big production. It's kind of the most ambitious production that I'm attempting on my personal YouTube channel. That will come out soon, but I will continue putting out other projects, other stuff while I work on that. So look for more responses to various things. Just looking for, like I said, it was Simon Dan who introduced me to buy the book ministries. There may be some other videos that I look at on his. I'm thinking about going after Matt Powell, but these guys have done it so succinctly. We'll wait for him to say something stupid. Or whatever.
So what you mean is we'll just wait for him to say something.
Pretty much. And of course, looking forward to my next debate, whoever that might be. I don't know who it will be because apparently they keep running away. I don't know.
Sorry, JL.
It's okay.
I'll get back on it as soon as my schedule equalizes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to debating any theist and and whatever. So I guess we'll figure it out. But
Alpha K91, you have you are in JL and my mind right now, right there. Boom. Says I don't know, but if they close down Dino Adventureland road trip, free souvenirs.
What? Get out of my head.
We were talking about this just the other day. We were talking about this. It's going to happen. We are going to go get a free souvenir if they auction everything off. Well,
I want one of those dinosaurs. I want one so bad.
It's going to be a dinosaur. It's going to be Ken Hovind's desk. It's going to be something. Okay? We will walk away with something.
Imagine how pissed off he would be
if
we were streaming from his desk.
That would be so odd. Like, hey, do they get YouTube in prison?
It's like,
hey, Elizabeth, good to see you.
Smells like bullshit.
Smells like asshole.
I want a loin. Charlie Waltz says, I really want a loincloth primitive riding a raptor.
Yeah.
Hell fucking yeah. So yes, and that would be amazing. That'd be a road trip. If they have to do it, if they go insolvent and they have to liquidate Adventureland or Dinoland, we are there.
Yeah.
We are keeping our ears to the ground to see if that happens. That'll be badass. Gerald says his hammer that he hits atheists with.
I don't want his penis.
You got to come back with his.
No. That penis is prison used. You don't want that. You don't want. Alien XE. Well, yes. And so I've got stuff coming out. Now that everything is set up and I'm good to go. And of course, I'm looking into the lighting situation. So I'll figure out the lighting so it's a lot better. But as you can see, it's coming along. Thank you all so much for checking out my latest video. I really do appreciate it. Obviously, got cool stuff coming up on Week in Horror. A lot of our patrons are in the chat right now. So thank you all to all of my patrons. I love you guys for all the support that you give the show. And all the links for everything Week in Horror is in the description. How you can support us there, how you can support me, how you can support this particular channel is all in the description, or should be. I don't know if I put it there, but if it's not there, I will get it in there when I edit this or like so. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We got the show Sunday.
My wife all the time.
Sunday, 7 p.m. Central Time. Week in Horror goes live, and look for more shorts and more content from myself. And we will doing. I don't know when I'm going to do a live stream, but the minute this thing is monetized, this channel is monetized, we will. I will be scheduling a live stream so I can come out and hang out with all the amazing people that helped me get there, which is you, which is all of you. You guys are amazing. That's pretty much it.
That's it. You're the one with the buttons, not me.
Well, cheers.
Button. Who's got the button? All right. Dang, we're so close to 3. Oh, well, it's 2. Actually, no. 2:55. That's good to go. Sir Little Wolf, everybody asks for jail shorts. All right. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you all so much for coming. Thank you guys for coming out. We love you guys. Be safe. Be excellent to each other, and we will catch you all next week.
Deuces.